All right, we are back. Fingers crossed, waiting with bated breath that the overlay works this time. We lost 15 minutes of the stream. Well, we had to reset and fix that. This is Eric Anderson with Poker House at Peaks in Dallas. Here with Eric McLeod, one of our all-star players who won some money in that tournament this morning. Said he'd love to jump in the booth, and I said I'd love to have you. So say hi to the crowd, Eric.
How's everybody doing tonight? Got a great game going. OFC's game. If you haven't ever watched this game can get exciting in a hurry.
$1,500 buy-in, 5, 10 blinds. You can see the 20 is on and the 40 is on. So we've got a 5, 10, 20, 40. And if you see that that money on the dealer button, every time the button is in front of you, you put $5 on it. If the small blind wins, if the player in the small blind wins, the dealer gets that money.
That's really exciting for the dealer. I mean, think about it. That's an extra tip when they do it.
Yeah, super
adds
fun.
up. I mean,
and we do have the overlay now, so technical difficulties fixed, resolved. They said you can't win if Brad doesn't play the small blind. So Miguel is not going to win the $10 this time because Miguel folded, or because Brad folded. Benham raises to $125 with Queen 7 suited. Gets called by Mitch with Ace Jack suited, and Hayden defends his double straddle with the 6-9 offsuit.
Benham seems to be rewarded here with the queen. Mitch has a gut shot to the 10.
Checks around to Benham, fires out $125. Hayden lets it go. He was getting a good price to call with bottom pair, but he wisely lets it go. Deuce on the turn changes nothing. $645 in the pot. Actions on Mitch. Checks it over to Benham, who was a pre-flop progressor. He was a post-flop progressor. He checks back the turn. Mitch hits a 10 on the river. It's not a clean 10, though. It's a 10 of clubs that brings home the backdoor flush draw.
Mitch rewarded for his patience, and Benham gave over pot control there by checking on the turn.
He releases the nip button. If you don't watch the stream, if you're new to the stream, everybody has a button in front of them. And when you win a hand, you give the button back to the dealer.
So right now it looks like we have John.
Let's take a look at these seats. Now, they started off with $1,500 apiece 15 minutes ago. And Benham is $1,665. Brad's up to $2,045. OFC's down a little bit. The NDN, David Alexander, he lost $1,000 somewhere along the way. It looks like Mitch picked it up though. He's got $4,000. Hayden's got $3,000. John's right at starting stack. J Rock is down a little bit, and Duck is still at starting stack.
Duck is dead even there at 1,500.
Brad, OFC, John, and Duck all have their knit button still. That little yellow icon in front of their name means they are still they still have the knit button.
Yeah, I was seeing the yellow thing, but when you look at the table, I could see John's knit button. So I don't know if I'm just missing it or if there's actually a problem with the overlay on that one. But the other three, Duck, Brad, and OFC, do have the knit button by their stack.
Okay, let's look and see if we can see John.
Doesn't have to be a lot. We don't need $400. Yeah, we can do the $5 on it. The bigger you make,
John does not have it. What might have happened? Now here's a software error. Not an error. Here's the software programming issue. We play, if you run it twice, whoever wins the original board gets rid of their knit button. The software is designed, you have to win both boards to get rid of your knit button. So probably in real life, he won the top board, got rid of his knit button. The computer did not recognize that he got rid of his knit button, so it didn't take it away from him. Hopefully he wins another hand in the next, before the other three players do, so that the computer will catch up and be accurate again.
So 4, 5, 10 on the flop. Kind of OSC and Indian get a 5 and Duck with a 4.
Yeah, the Indian raises pre-flop and gets rewarded by flopping middle pair.
I mean,
They
rewarded
did it
or
all in.
punished? since
He only
you
had
don't see letting it go?
$500. Yeah, he only had $500. They said, let's get it in. They both have one board. Or excuse me, they both have one pair. OFC's
Got a
free
flush,
rolling
huh?
now.
And they chop.
Chop it up. The first board is a chop. Second board is a chop. All they needed was 2 cards above a 9, and it was a chop. Chop, chop.
Yeah, that's got to be heartbreaking for us. OFC, that was his chance to get rid of the knit button too.
He said he only, you can see he's only playing premiums.
Hey, as you learned earlier today, I love 9 to 5.
9 to 5, Dolly
Dolly
Parton.
Parton.
All right, let's glance at this again. So Brad, OFC, and Duck have their nip button still. John in the 7th seat does not have his nip button. Let's look at this cumulative winning. It is match to stack, so some of these big stacks may have just added on. Mitch actually won his money. Hayden won his money. Yeah, so it looks pretty true to course so far. Yeah, OFC didn't care about the nip button. He wanted to win so that the dealer could get that pot.
No, right now you can win it. Right now you can win it. But we gotta take some
Well, that's thoughtful of OFC to be more worried about the dealer than getting rid of his nip button.
As I'm listening to their table conversation, I actually think that the dealer doesn't get it, but whoever's in the small blind adds that to his stack. So that's like a little bonus if you're in the small blind. If you're out of position and you still win the hand, you get a little incentive.
Oh, that's kind of a new rule on that.
I think that's what it is.
That's a different take on the money on the button.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if it's a matter of the dealer gets it, then it's not really anything special because the dealer will eventually get it, so it doesn't really matter. But if it's a matter of when you're in the small blind and you win this pot, now you get extra money, a little bit of juice on that squeeze. I actually like that a lot. I'm thinking about that.
At least in pre-flop, it seems like everybody and their mom has a heart. Duck's got a
gut shot.
Backdoor flush draw. Benham's got a gut shot.
Brad's got a
queen with
pair.
a gut shot, and then OFC's got a queen with a 6 kicker.
All right, nobody's gonna get a flush.
Yep.
Brad and OFC both have a queen, which is third pair on this board. Not too excited about it. Brad is going to represent something though. He does have the best hand with third pair and a gut shot straight draw. OFC has third pair also, and he thinks he's going to steal it.
This will be interesting if he raises Brad because they're both really solid players.
Brad just shipped a tournament last month at the fort for how much was it? $30,000-$40,000.
Yeah, I remember because it was right after we had played. Me and him had played together on that live stream in Fort Worth a little while.
It was great. And then he took his fiance to Europe, I think.
Well, smart man. Happy spouse, happy house.
Oh, Brad nails it. Hits his gut shot on the river. He's got the stone cold nuts. Cannot lose the hand. Now against OFC, do you check and let OFC bluff at it, or do you just put out a value bet? There's 900 in the pot. If you put out a bet like 300, I think OFC just called 200 on the flop. He goes a little bit bigger. He makes it 500. Now OFC is beat by an ace, a king, a better jack, or excuse me,
I think you're gonna think about this for a minute and realize he's beat.
Yeah, he's like an ace beats me, a king beats me, a 10 beats me. Let's listen. No, you don't have jacks. OFC. And a little bit of Brad takes the nip button out like I'm giving this back. I'm winning this hand.
I'll be real. I think the knit button is one of the last things OFC actually cares about. It's a little bit, but OFC is too solid to let it completely affect his call here. Brad trying to induce a call, it looks like. I don't think OFC's going to bite.
No. Oh,
I might be wrong, but
no, 500's not. He's not getting the value.
I would say you, John.
Oh, he does call 500. What a bet.
and I guess we need to submit Brad for an Oscar or something to get an acting performance, got OFC to
No,
call
that
him.
was great.
All right, and now there's two.
Heads up for the nip buttons. Duck and OFC.
Both of these guys can bet it with the best of them with nothing.
Oh, for sure.
You have no there, combo there with the 10? I'm the only one else, right? Stays up there, but then general.
They added 10 every time.
This one, yeah. Aces. I can do it one this small.
So are you guys watching on Facebook or YouTube?
Queen six off.
He's telling the
Oh.
truth. He had queen 6 offsuit.
Looks like Duck's got a hand here to get rid of his net button with his pocket king, and OFC's got pocket 5s. We might see
Oh
some action
no,
here
there's
with
going to be
both-
fireworks. Now it shows OFC has 615. You can see he has
He added them.
close to 1100 there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see that.
So he probably added $1,000 on without telling Miguel, or Miguel didn't tell Michael, or Michael didn't write it down. Somewhere along the line, that stack size didn't get updated, and it's not a $500 all in. It's a
Probably the
$1,500 all
$13.20
in.
for Duck, the $13.20 for Duck, huh?
Yeah.
Someone else is gonna call here if I tank for 7 minutes? You wanna do twice or what?
Your call.
You can do twice.
Yeah, I'm fair, you're good.
I have a pair.
Sounds like they agreed to run it twice here.
I do.
OFC has 1 out. The 5 of clubs has been folded. All right, OFC's playing the board on that one. So Duck wins, gets rid of his nip button. OFC's going to pay the $200 penalty.
I don't know what I had, but I feel like I would. Yeah, how did you find more tens than jacks and aces?
2 for 2 going Duck's way.
I called him, man.
Yeah,
I said I had a pair. Somebody
You
else
said two, no, you did.
I said you did.
You said two, you have ducks, and you said, yeah, sure, I have ducks.
Yes, I snap called it ducks.
Duck has Somebody said Duck has ducks, and somebody else at the same time says, "Do you have a pair?" And he said yes. And so they thought he was admitting that he had a pair of 2s, and he's like, "No."
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So are we putting?
Yep.
Are we,
How do you use the top word?
If I had twos, there was a pair.
All right. Now, OFC is going to splash this pot with $200. And
Looks like they're putting it on the button.
there's $100. Oh. Oh, they twisted it. It's not a splash pot. It's a button. They added it to the button. So now they've got all the money that. So every hand, when you're the button, you put $5. Let me turn this down so you can understand me. So every time you're the button, you put $5 on the button.
And then the small
And a
blind.
small blind can win that, right? To incentivize the small blind to come in. Now, the knit money also goes on the button. So now there's been 10 hands. So there's $50 in there, and he just added another $150. So now the button is worth $200. If Hayden wins right now, he gets an extra $200. That's fun.
I like that little twist.
I like that. And I like that it rewards the small blind, the person who's out of position, who today is Hayden with a Jack 7 suited. He's still not going to risk it. He's not going to call $50. Brad raised it with King Jack.
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have got crazy and explored with the Jack 7.
The
of
Jack
hearts.
7, because there's an extra $200 of equity.
Especially with that many people in.
Yeah, that nobody else can see. Brad flops the best of it with King High. Excuse me, with a pair of kings, not King High. Ooh, OFC turns a gut shot straight draw and a flush draw.
Let's see, there the small blind would be having that Jack High flush draw.
Jack 7 for Hayden if he would have stayed in it. $85 bet from Brad. OFC is definitely calling with his straight and flush draw. An offsuit 5 would get him paid. Mitch has a gut shot, needs a 10.
I'm thinking the 10 of hearts here would be some action.
J-Rock really has no part of this, cannot win. I think he's going to let it go. He's trying to think of a way he can win this hand, and he realizes he cannot. Lets it go. We're three-handed with $475 in the pot. Brad needs to fade a heart or a 10 or a 5, and he did it. Checks it over to OFC. OFC cannot win with 6 high. He needs to bluff at this. He's not willing to do it. Now, Mitch could have represented a spade flush there. Did not do it. Checks around. Pair of kings is going to win this hand. Nice hand for Brad.
I'm surprised they didn't make Brad make a tough decision there.
Yeah, it's kind of an ugly board. Kim Fortini watching on YouTube. How are you doing, Kim? Let's check out these stack sizes. Our boy Hayden, 2865. Let's look at cumulative winnings to see if those are store-bought chips or he won them. He's up $1,365 in the first 2 orbits.
Yeah, I'd say he's a smart player. Unlike me, I'm a donkey. I'll call with a lot of stuff.
Hayden's a genius.
Yeah.
He's next level smart.
I'm the guy who enjoys putting someone on tilt almost as much as I enjoy winning the pot.
Because they didn't cancel out the knit button because the computer thought John still has it. So you could ignore that because the knit button has been finished.
6, 7 ace. Got a gut shot.
Duck's got top pair.
Hayden with the gut shot. See with 7.
Duck leads out $75 with top pair. Oh, trips makes it less likely that he has an ace. Now that there's another one on the board, he checks it over, telling the story. And OFC rips it all in, and Duck Snap calls him, playing OFC like a fiddle. He has OFC drawing dead and putting in $1,500. OFC reaches for the backpack and says, "Oh, that was fun."
Cam liked your update on the
Yay!
action tracker.
All right. Yeah, I gotta remember to look over there. Now let's check this out. OFC's down 2 buy-ins. Let's check out stack sizes. I think he's going to top off. It's matched the stack. He just bought him for 6K, which he technically can't do that because the highest stack is Duck with 4,500. But I think if nobody catches that, he's gonna start playing with 6K right now.
Doug OFC is starting off with a rough night, but if anyone can recover from it, it's him.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, Kimberly, I've been working on the microphones. So the table, you can really hear the table chat a lot better than we used to. It used to be crackly and we'd get a lot of reverb.
I really do like this lineup tonight, though. It's a pretty diverse group that some are a little tighter, some a little more aggressive.
Yeah, OFC sets up good lineups.
Yeah. Let me hit my hand.
J-Rock's got deuce straight suited. That's a good sneaky hand to get in here and win an extra $200 from that button. He hit a tray.
Backdoor straight draw with it. We got Benham with a gut shot. And Hayden hit middle pair.
J-Rock bets $40. Only Benham calls with his gut shot and 2 overs.
I guess now he's got the double.
Yeah, he needs a 6 or a 10 to make a higher pair and a 7 or a jack to make a straight. He misses everything. J-Rock can steal it right now. And it's going to work because Benham has 10 high. If it goes check, J-Rock's going to win the rock. He pairs his 3. It's good. Add $200, $215 to your stack, Benham.
With the clean diaper.
He just tipped the dealer $100. What a man.
No. He has 210.
So like normally you.
What's the benefit of winning?
Yeah. Shut up.
The knowing you won with deuce 3, I think, was the pleasure enough for him on that one.
So I'm not positive what's going on. I need to find out. He just won the $200 and tipped half of it to Miguel. So that's interesting.
Yeah, they were giving him grief about giving half of it back out there.
Yeah. And we're going to restart with $5 on the button. Oh, big raise from John with ace king. Hayden calls $20 and John makes it. It looks like 145.
And Brad checked to make sure he knew he wasn't the small blind.
Brad's got 2 8s.
Yeah,
What do you-
Brad's coming along. He's just trying to decide if he's raising or.
He just limps in. He doesn't want to give John a chance to 4-bet bluff him off of his 8s.
Yeah, I think that was the whole how much you got behind where he was
He's kind of set mining right now.
with OFC having one of his 8s.
Checks around to John, who's got no pair.
The mandatory get to see.
Yeah, continuation bet's got to be about 175. It looks like. Yep. 10 would give him a straight. Brad still has the best hand, but a Jack Queen 5 is not a hand you're excited about when you have pocket eights. He lets it go. OFC cannot defend at all. Oh, he throws in. All right, so these lammers, these clear lammers, everybody gets one at the start of the stream. And anytime you want to see somebody's hand after you fold, you release your lammer and they have to show their hand.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a one-time deal.
They should allow it to where you splash the next pot for like 50 to get one back after you use yours.
That'd be fun.
That group would be down for it probably.
Yeah.
So I didn't see who threw it. I'm going to assume it was Brad.
It was Brad. He wanted to know if his pocket eights were any good. He found out they were, but he was at risk, and it wasn't worth it.
Mitch raised to 40 with 10 queen. Duck only calls. No, 3-bet to 125. Sorry, with ace king. So I mentioned Duck to a flop with 10 queen against king ace, where Duck has both suits covered. And we got Jack 7-7 on the flop rainbow.
Duck bets 125. Mitch has no part of this, and he lets it go.
Now we're trying to have a new button.
I think we're waiting for
Or we can start it.
We can start it whenever you want. I don't know.
We're going to restart the knit button. The knit game. $200 penalty for losing the knit game. And it looks like now, instead of splashing the next pot, it goes on the button. And when the small blind wins the hand, he's going to receive it. And may or may not give the dealer a fabulous tip.
It gives you a chance to get your money back on the small when it's your small blind.
We are playing 5, 5, 10, 20. Hayden does not put on the 40 this time.
People are aggressive when no.
Brad raised to 125 with king 10.
Now, if David Alexander, a.k.a. the Indian, only has $465, I expect it all to go in the pot this hand. Unless he totally whiffs that flop. But if he's got any part of it, he's got a stack to pot ratio of 1 and less than 1 now that Mitch and Benham both came along.
Didn't have time to hike.
So he's got really, really good odds. Jack 6 deuce.
He does.
That might be a hand he can get away from with ace queen hearted.
It's more like
Checks around to Mitch, who has the best hand with a pair of 6s. And everybody folds. 6-9 wins. He gets rid of the knit button.
That's got to feel good right after getting the nip. But
Exactly.
the game started
First
getting
one
rid of
out
that.
before anybody's anxious.
And you got so much control over the next hands, expecting people to raise with.
Let's look at these seats. Everybody's got their nip button except for Mitch. Let's look at the cumulative winnings. And after that, we got Mitch way up ahead, Hayden right behind him, Duck and Brad with a nice win. OFC 2.5 buy-ins in. John down by 1. Let's check out their VPIP. Voluntarily putting money in the pot pre-flop. We'll do that after this hand.
Hayden wants to put in money bad. It needs to be big.
Yeah.
Benham makes it ace to king. Wakes up with ace king. Calls the $10. Just slow playing.
Now let's see with King Queen racing.
He also is in the small blind, which means he gets that bonus button.
Yeah, there's but already 2 queens have been folded.
Button
So
money.
if Benham calls, he's in a little trouble.
Yeah, Benham's not calling. He set the trap and sprung the trap. Makes it 500 to go, it looks like.
There's a stack of green out there.
OFC said, yes, I will call 500. The NDN is all in for 385. If he does, he does.
So we got a, what, 230 side pot? For some continued action here.
So he's got the side pot all up there.
I mean, with 2 queens being folded and stuff, he's not in the worst of shape.
He's in pretty bad shape. Oh, that's good for NDN. Benham needs a queen. OFC is open-ended. He needs a 9 or an ace. Ripped it in. There's a call. Huge, huge pot. OFC needs an ace or a 9. Open-ended.
Can I get spades on this board?
Yeah.
4 doesn't do it. Ace or a 9. King gives Benham the best hand. Top pair with a ace kicker. They're running it twice. OFC still needs a 9. Doesn't do it. The Indian wins the second hand for the main pot. OFC goes brick, brick, and loses everything.
Oh. Well, I did not expect it.
Wow. What a bad day to be Sean.
Man.
I did no money left. I had money earlier. I said,
John looks at David's hand and says Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, WTF. And Alexander says, I didn't have any money left. What was I supposed to do with 8, 10 off in the big blind? You know, I was already in for 10. Might as well put in the extra 500.
The play from the Indian does not surprise me.
No, he's fun to play with. Scary to play with. All right, hands over. Let's look at that cumulative while we're at it. OFC's on his third buy-in. VPIPs voluntarily putting money in pre-flop. We've got Duck leading the pack with 75%. Brad down at the bottom with 30%. No real surprise there. He's new to this game. He's a little less splashy than a lot of these players. We've got Hayden 50%. That means after 20 hands, he's come into it 10 times. So half the time he's seen the flop. Benham and OFC and Indian all at 55%. John at 45%. Mitch and J-Rock at 35%. Duck way up at the top with 75%, and Brad at 30%, bringing up the rear. Let's check out this win rate. We're going to put Benham way up again after that pot. He's going to be up almost $2,000. OFC calls for a deck change. It is bad luck to be superstitious. But he does throw Miguel $5 and that's for a deck change.
So, Eric, if it's bad luck to be superstitious, is it superstitious to believe it's bad luck to be superstitious?
I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. I'm not superstitious.
Nah, but Brad's VPIP's about where I'd put him.
Yeah.
I mean, especially his first time in the this game.
Yep.
3 of them in the 30s. Not what you'd expect. And then
So they are advocating the 5, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80.
I'm always like, I got to defend my 80.
Duck doesn't want to do 80 because he has to defend the 80 and then loses $2,000. I have to defend an $80 straddle. He does call the 40 though. 200 from Brad with King Queen again.
maybe after stream we should ask Doug, is it you got to defend it or are you going to make more money with it? All depends on how you're running. He's running good enough tonight. He might have tried it sometime.
Yeah.
Wait till you see what they'll do. Until you realize it was 10-8 gambling.
And
We're heads up with Brad and OFC.
these two look like they're going to have a little rivalry tonight.
Yes, sir.
So 6, 6, 8 on the flop. Brad just got 2 big overs and leads OFC to a couple of a gut shot and some back doors with the diamonds.
OFC can get hyper aggressive on a board like this that favors his range. Hits his 10. Now he's way ahead. Brad needs a king or a queen. We can see all of them are live except for the king of hearts. So he does have 5 outs. That gives him 17% equity in this hand. He's going to represent for $300. And OFC, I expect to. What do you think? Is he going to flat here? Or is he going to come over the top right now?
I think with the 90s having, he's coming over the top now to try to get more in the
He
pot.
glanced over at Brad's stack and he's like, how much am I going to win here? Let me just smooth call this and let Brad hang himself if he doesn't hit his 17%. The backdoor flush comes home.
Which gotta be
That might have been on his mind. Oh, just go snap, check, and OFC shows the best hand. Gets rid of his nip button immediately.
OFC showing a little happiness of being able to take one down.
Yay!
I think the VPIPs would be a little different here if Brad was to the left of OFC.
That is excellent. Hold on a second. I got to go help them out with production. I'll be right back. Yep.
All right, y'all. Just me in the booth now, so take it easy on me. First time, so.
Call me the Kamala Harris of the button.
Cam, so if you're still in here, you been playing much lately?
I know. He's indiscriminate about it.
I don't see
You know it's on you, right?
Oh shit! I keep thinking this.
I know.
It's throwing me off.
No, we're just using the red one.
Oh, I use red one. Is that okay? Okay.
The Indian not realizing it was his turn. Thinking the money on the button was his straddle or his call.
Make it harder. We appreciate our
Appreciate it. I don't have that.
All right.
So Queen Deuce. Well, guess I got no favorite. Benham's the only one with a pocket pair. No one else had anything. The Indian so has ace high. And then so he came out firing with 250. And he pairs his 3 on the turn.
Yeah, John's like, yeah, I saw that. No kickers on the deuce.
And it checks around. Ooh, OFC hits the 3 on the river. Go see if he can get a call here from Benham. I'm trying to figure out what he wants to bet.
I don't have a deuce, I promise. You might have 3, but that's
Goes with a big oversized bet, telling Benham he doesn't have the deuce, but Benham sees right through it and tells him, you might have the 3 though, that's the problem.
Yeah, everybody wants to see it.
Yay!
Benham giving his lammer to make it OFC show for the 3-8.
So the hour is up. The dealer change, and on the dealer change, they play a little game called the VPIP game. The person with the lowest VPIP pays $100 to the highest VPIP. If they ended it right now, Brad would owe Duck $100. So
So like we can start off with
If this ain't just constantly staying.
Which, as long as, I mean, you're getting your money in there effectively, like Brad has been tonight.
yeah, he can be losing the VPIP and still winning money. And a lot of times,
More people saw my hand than I get to see more hands.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because every week I have a hand where I see 5 falling my way. Like,
I don't know what the fuck you showed up with.
so this is a good point that OFC just brought up. The Lammer game,
never said what's the kicker with your queen.
where you get to see what your opponent's hand is, right? So OFC said, let's do this. When you give somebody the Lammer, they keep it. And now when he has to show his hand, now he gets the option to have somebody else show their hand.
You're being compensated with future
Yes.
value to see
So,
someone else's hand in
Yep.
return.
So when 5 people ask to see his hand, he gets to see 5 people's hands. And then they get to see people's hands. So it does. That's a nice little twist. I like how our game is constantly evolving every week. We just add little twists to it to make it more fun and more fun. Speaking of our twisted games, the knit game, the VPIP game.
Oh, Hayden sitting here with top 2 on this one. With
Indian
having a straight flush
nice.
draw, and Mitch with middle pair top kicker. This could lead to some excitement here.
If the Indian only has $500,
I would not be surprised to see it go all in here.
definitely going to apply pressure. Oh, never mind. Hayden put $400 in. The Indian has to call. If he could bet that, it would have been done by now. But calling with a 6 high flush draw against Hayden is negative EV.
Yeah, I would say
He does let it go.
Hayden's, from what I've seen, is a pretty solid player. So
He's solid.
don't really want to let him dictate terms when you put your money in. No, that's what I like here about the streams at Poker House at Peaks. You get to see all the different evolution,
Yeah.
like from the Wednesday night to just the regular one that anyone can play.
The $1, $2, $300 max buy-in we had last night to the 5-5-10 match the stack with a 1,500 starting stack to the
Round of each.
round of each on Sunday nights that Hayden puts on. But I was saying the evolution. I'm friends with the person who developed the software, and a couple of months ago I told him about our VPIP game, and so he added a feature in the software where you can reset the VPIPs back to 0 and start the game over.
Oh, that's nice when you have that kind of relationship and you can evolve the software to go with the way the game evolves.
Get the best hammered hand than what you had.
Okay, looks like we might have a little. The overlay is hanging out a little longer than.
Yeah, he didn't hit next hand, so it's going to take him a second, and they're up now.
Okay. Venom was a little ace-4 suited. One of my favorite kind of hand to play in poker.
I definitely like those suited wheel cards. All the GTO cool kids.
And then OFC here with ace-10 suited. Oh, and
don't yawn. Makes me yawn.
oh, I didn't think I did that.
Oh, that might have been
Oh.
just me.
No, because Hayden threw away pocket
Oh.
deuces, which is one of the hands I love to play.
Oh.
Big.
Oh, that was just a gasp. I thought you were yawning. Like,
It was a.
it's like, I can't believe he folded pocket twos.
I love. It's one of those hands you're either gonna make a lot of money on or get out of on the
Yeah.
flop. You know, it's no good.
Oh, OFC's got a monster that nobody's going to put him on. He's got top flush draw. He's got a gut shot to the Broadway. John has middle pair.
Oh, and if OFC gets there on Broadway, it gives John 2 pair.
Oh, another king. Wow, brick, and John's jack is just going to be good now. Frustrating for OFC.
I think we've doomed each other. One of us started the yawning.
They're going
We
back and
debated on
forth.
who, and now it's going to go back and forth. Like, if you ever want some entertainment, get in a crowded elevator and fake a yawn, someone will start doing it.
Watch them all go.
But no. Sad thing is, I don't even know why we're yawning. This is actually a fun.
Oh, this is good
watch.
shit. I know why I'm yawning. I've got like 3 hours of sleep in the last 4 days.
I think I woke up about 4 a.m. this morning, so.
Mike's going through the stats while they're doing a dealer change.
So here we go to one of those double board bomb pots Texas is known for.
Yes, beautiful double board bomb pot PLO.
It's called the Someone Go Broke.
Oh, Brad just broke out the sushi. Deal him in. Deal him in.
He's in arm's reach.
Yep. I mean, even if he's not on the stream, you deal everybody in. By the time Joel deals out 4 cards and the
Two
top
board.
board and the bottom board, OFC will be back in his seat.
And probably raisin.
Raisin dark pot.
It doesn't matter how they are.
Come on, Brad. Just wipe your hands off before you grab the cards.
He's using chopsticks.
No, he looked like he wiped the card off after he went back and wiped his hand off.
Oh, I missed it. 8-7-8 on top. Jack, Trey, Ace.
These always get really interesting when they're completely opposite boards like this.
Yeah.
They end up boring when it's like 10 Jack Queen, Queen King Ace.
Yeah, same guy's going to win both. And he's not going to win any money because nobody's put it in. Mitch has middle set on the bottom board.
John has an 8 on top board.
John has 2 hearts on the bottom board. He's going to get a lot of money in this one. If a heart peels off on bottom, he's also got an ace.
Yeah, he's got an ace with the 2 hearts on bottom.
Yep.
An 8 with a straight draw on top. Brad's got the fold with the pocket 9s and a 6.
Or if she's going to fold. Heads up action. Mitch with. That gives John a full house on top. Mitch still has trip jacks on bottom, a set of jacks.
I didn't see a jack folded, so technically Mitch is still live on the top board too. With his pocket
Yes.
jacks.
Bigger boat.
And now John hit 2 pair to go with his flush draw on bottom.
Yeah, 2 pair flush draw. He needs an ace or a heart on bottom. Not the 8 of hearts though. The 8 of hearts has already been played, so he needs a ace or a heart.
Yep, because all 4 8s are out right now.
Mitch needs a jack on top. Huge pot. Makes it 1,600. He pots it. 3,600 in the pot. Oh, he needed that heart on bottom. Got it anyway. That's his sweeper.
Yeah, there's no way he checks it because with the flush and the full house.
All in and a call. He says, I've got everything. Everything. Mitch is trying to figure out how he can win this hand. Good hand, John. 4,500 in the pot. Mitch was way ahead before that hand. Luck of the draw. John gets all those hearts. Brutal run out, Kimberly says. Let's check out these stats now. Mitch is still up after losing a $4,000 pot. John is up 1,645 now. Hayden still up almost 1,600. Benham up over 14. Duck, Mitch, and the Indian just at break even. Brad is a slight loss right now. J-Rock's in for 500, and OFC is throwing the party, as they say.
Well, I mean, he has came back a little from where he was at earlier.
Yeah, he's almost 5K down right now.
I think he was like 55 earlier, so he hasn't. Still got enough time on here for him to get back up there, though.
So there we go. They're going to play a couple of hands. Well, that was the first hand, and now they're coming to get me to do the knit game.
Notice he raised with pocket 8s. John called with pocket 6s.
Set mining.
Mitch with 8-9 and Benham with king queen. Everybody has a heart.
Benham flops all of it. QQ10. OFC is going to represent something with 2 8s. He's got 1 out.
And then you got Mitch calling with the gut shot.
And Benham shows them he has the real hand, and they all let it go. All right, here's the VPIPs now. You'll hear me come out and announce it.
Figure it out.
Duck went down a little bit from the 75 he was at. He probably folded a couple of hands.
Okay, in order, starting with seat 1, 53%. Brad's at 26%. OFC's at 61%. David 50%. Mitch 34. Hayden 42. John 50. J-Rock 38. Duck 69. So the bottom is Brad with 26. The top is Duck with 69.
You take food stamp?
Nope.
How do you have 100%? I had just
69%.
You just take another time.
Who are you?
No,
I don't
I
even know you.
I've always played a lot of that.
They can do it.
You somehow think I
He's adding on.
500
500.
for next 50. Sadly, I'm the
Yeah.
The Indian saying he's one of the tighter ones tonight, sadly,
Yeah.
which is
Got that?
um
No. I don't-
he likes to see flops like I do.
On the table. It's actually the problem.
Brad doesn't want to take money off the table.
You want to add to it.
I like it.
Do you have a nip button? No, I can't see on that side.
Hayden does not have a nip button. Hayden raises, and the first question OFC asks is, "Do you have the nip button?" Because that is a factor. Not, people will be raising lighter and defending lighter, trying to get rid of that nip button. Duck does flop middle pair with a 4. I couldn't get through all those people, so you could see me toss the $100 chips to Brad.
Hayden with a opener.
Duck does not believe him. Calls him with, "I paired my 4." The third heart comes home. Front door hearts. Without betting the flop, you can't put Hayden on having 2 hearts. So he does give up, and Duck's 4 is going to win.
Well, yeah, this is the next one also. Oh, okay.
Well, Brad's open about it.
Brad throws him 200, and they say, "No, the last one is 200. Right now it's only 100. He said, "Well, this is for the next hand. This is for the next VPIP that I lose."
Showing Brad is not going to change his game for a.
Let's check out over the last 15 minutes. OFC Hayden Duck 100%. Oh, actually, that's one hand. That's real time. That's not right now. They reset it 15 minutes ago, but that was right there on the hand. So that's how that works. 100%.
So we got like 3 more hands before we see Brad play one, maybe.
Maybe about that average.
He's a line. I think we got better than that. 26%. He's a flop.
Oh, I won that. So there were 2 reasons I was playing poorly.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
They're having to remind Duck that he gets the money off the button from winning as a small blind last hand.
Are we adding that $10?
He just won.
I did.
Yeah,
I won it and I added.
So the 4 of us.
Literally,
Yeah.
just win.
Yeah, but you won the big one.
He did. He won the big.
Well, I
He
won.
did the deal.
One hand all night, so obviously I didn't get that.
You won a couple
It was
big
small.
So it was just pointed out that J-Rock won the big one, and he tipped the dealer 100 of it. And the way they said that makes me think that it was not mandatory. J-Rock just did it because he's a great guy.
You always got to take care of your dealers when you're playing.
Absolutely.
I mean, even when you're not running the best, remember they're still working just as hard as they are when you're running good.
Duck's in the 9 seat with 2 9s. So if he was a little stitious, he might play this hand, raise it to 99. Hayden calls with Queen 10 in defending his $20 straddle.
Ooh. Mitch hits the ace. Don't see any more straightforward draws. Maybe some little back door for straights, but
Got him? This is fun. I'm glad I made someone.
Good times, good times.
Brad said this is fun. Glad I made someone money.
What's the score right now?
Big basketball game going on right now. I don't care at all about basketball, so don't worry about spoilers on the chat. Playing 5, 10, 20.
Well, if you do care, it's not looking good right now.
Who's playing?
Dallas and Boston
Okay.
in the finals.
Ooh. Is this like the Super Bowl type finals? Awesome.
Yeah, it's NBA finals right now. It looks like Dallas is down by 25.
And are there 7 games, or is that a baseball thing?
It's 7.
7 games? Okay. That's how much I know about basketball.
Only reason I'm keeping up with it is because Dallas.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have another parade.
Is this the type of city that burns stuff down if you lose?
I don't know. I'm not from here originally. I'm from Texas, but down around Beaumont. So it's they seem to behave pretty well when the Rangers won compared to some other cities lately.
OFC's top pair, Mitch's open ender, needs a 9 or an ace. Excuse me. Yeah, 9 or an ace to make a straight. Indian is open ended, needs an 8 or a king to make a straight.
OFC's Queen's best right now.
3 diamonds is a blank. Checks around. OFC top pair, no kicker, going to win this pot.
Good.
This game does. They're like our main objective.
If we're gonna play this, it has to be 25. Everybody puts in to start with.
Start
And then
with
25
yes.
add-ons. Then it would make a
Oh,
little
then
more
it's
sense.
crazy, yeah.
But
But
$5,
the truth
$10
is,
is not gonna.
no, if you
add
started
any
with
incentive to the
10
game.
and it's 90, and the first person puts on it's 100 to start, and usually it makes it around. You get 200.
We had 200, like 10
Well, that was because we
left.
added
the
one.
nip game.
Just given the action that
But yes, I
$90
agree.
is really,
90. No, I agree with you.
it needs to be 25 minimum.
You
right
can start
now.
with 25, add 10s.
Yeah, something like that.
That's something
Yeah.
that I've done before. You start with big
Start
amounts,
with 25
and
and add
then you
10.
add.
All right.
Add value once you start the quarter.
So they're deciding.
Something like that.
What they want to put on the button right now, it seems like.
Okay, so 5 is not enough, they're saying?
That's what OFC's saying. To make it worthwhile, he wanted to see if everybody puts 25 on it.
Right on. That's monstrous.
Then they were talking about putting 10 on it the first time around, and then maybe something different.
I mean, $5 on one orbit is like $45. And you're not, I mean, all right, cool.
I mean, they are playing a $100 VPIP, and then
Yeah. They like the penalties.
All right, also we got Benham with ace jack suited against OFC with ace queen suited.
Yeah, you're like, give me a
The parking lot hand actually looks pretty good in this matchup.
I know.
And you still would have won.
Give me number 1.
And I still would have won.
Yeah.
2 hands I would have won.
Well, y'all.
OFC's no longer got a flush, any pot flush possibilities, but he's got a backdoor flush, and the two we both got 2 overcards to the board.
Okay, so in the games that I play, the way we handle that is usually if either of us beats him, then we just go.
Yep.
That's how I do it.
OFC checked and bet out for 450, so let's see how OFC's gonna react. Going to continue, or is he gonna?
That's a healthy bet. That's
Or is he gonna
almost
try to
half
check
the
raise?
pot.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Well, enough to take it down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and this is one guy that's a one guy. So like literally it's like 5 people trying to beat one guy. And then like, it's literally like, somebody got it? Yeah, I got the nuts on the board. Okay, run second board. And then run second board. And top up like 6 people like fucking 100 grand.
Is there 10 on it?
It's like the most crazy thing.
No. You You have a chance to win. You don't, because then I'll get the.
Yeah, then you only got 10 on there for you.
Do you have a pack of this? Out of the gun. And looks like everybody's calling $10. Except for looks like Brad might have folded there.
For 200.
That's kind of a surprise, Brad folding.
Well, the neat thing is the Indian is short stacked, and there's like $40, $50 on that button. He's in the small blind, so if he wins, he gets an extra $40, $50, whatever that is. He just puts in his last $210, and hope is 10-8. If everybody folds, great. If not, we go to Plan B, and he actually sucks out. Hayden with 2 9s.
I mean, but
4 bets it.
the Indian has his 8-10 again from last time he was all in.
He likes the old 8-10.
It appears that way.
1 overcard.
Where do you want to go? We can go by. Two times.
So
What do you think about going once or twice? Oh, 10 right on the flop.
I'm personally a 2-time every time guy. Unless you run it with me once, then it's only once from
Then
then on.
once forever.
And it's just to get rid of the variation. I mean,
Right.
the variance a little bit, and even though sometimes I don't think it helps me at all. I've had a guy hit a 2-outer on the top board to 1-outer on the bottom board to scoop it.
Oh my God, 10 high?
Oh my goodness.
Top to bottom, top to bottom.
They chopped the bottom.
No, he's doing.
Oh, no, Jack.
So I owe him 105?
Yeah.
So is he gonna win this? I think.
You win that.
Yeah,
You win
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Give him that too, and you lose your net. Yeah, good for you.
That's a pretty good roll.
That's about as good as you can get. 10-8.
And then a lot of people try to, on the running it once or twice. Some people want to run it twice if they're behind. Some people if they're ahead. To me, if you're going to do it, it seems like you're better off doing it when you're pretty much have a stranglehold on it.
Yeah,
Odds of them getting
when
like
they can suck out on me, I'm going to run it as many times as I can because they can't suck out on me 2 or 3 or 4 times, right? But sometimes if I'm way behind, I'm like, I can't win this twice. Let's just do it once. Hopefully I get lucky once.
You remember the poker show where they had this regular everyday person come on there and play with the pros?
I've seen a few variations of
Yeah,
that.
they had one the other day. I was watching them online. They agreed. Phil Helmuth was playing, and they agreed to run it 4 times. And Phil had a dominant hand. And the guy,
The black dude, right?
yeah, he had pocket kings. He had a straight on
Yep.
1 and hit a king on 2. He won 3 of the. Well, actually, yeah, he won 3 of the 4. It was
Yeah,
like
I remember, and everybody was just laughing at Phil Hellmuth. In the chat, Mr. Piper says, "Who is in the booth with you?" This is Eric McLeod. He's a player from the DFW area. He was in the tournament this morning. He chopped it for first place, 4-way chop, and said he'd love to jump in the booth with me tonight. So here he is. What do you do in your day job?
I'm a critical ops technician at a data center.
All right.
So facility engineer, critical ops tech. It all changes depending on what company you work for.
That sounds like a very fancy title for like janitor or something.
It's a little more technical than that. It's you maintain the power and the air conditioning and
Right on.
for the servers. But if my boss tells me to go sweep the floor, I'll go sweep the floor.
Sounds perfect.
I love my job. I've done a bunch of things in my life, and it's the one that's made me the happiest. So yeah, I go sweep the floor. I don't have any problem doing whatever. It helps when you have a great team, kind of like I'm seeing here at Poker House Peaks. You'll have a good team to work with, and
Definitely. I've got some good staff of good floors, good dealers.
I mean, I think the whole IT and audio visual team is you. But some of the guys seem to be trying to learn and pick it up.
Yeah, I'm training. Got to lighten the load a little bit.
Brad raised to 50 with his 9-10 suited. Maybe trying to use that tight image of his.
Right?
Yeah, he's gonna try to get rid of that VPIP up.
Oh, and John wakes up as ace king. And Mitch with king jack, which is one of those hands I love but I hate. Always looks better than it actually performs for me. So 150 5 ways to the flop.
You know what we call that? Texas heads up.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's only 5 though. I thought that was what,
Yeah,
6 or 7?
usually six. Brad 7, 8, 9, 10. He flopped and opened in the straight. That's a great flop for him. Duck has a gut shot.
Ooh. Brad hits the straight, but now John has the ace for the nut flush V6 round, and Duck
Ooh.
has a gut shot with the 10 of diamonds.
OFC has a gut shot with
Or a
a
straight
or
flush.
open ended with straight flush with a 4 or a 9, but
we
the
see
9
them-
would give Duck a straight flush.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 9 of diamonds here would be some fireworks, and with
John has the ace high flush.
the 9 OFC,
Duck has the gut shot straight flush. OFC has an open and straight flush.
and with the 9 OFCs having, I hope that 9 of diamonds is not what comes.
Oh man, that would be brutal.
But if any of y'all listen and watching aren't from down here in Texas, y'all should come down here on vacation, give it a shot, play some games. Gets a little crazy.
Duck does fold. That frees up the 9 of diamonds as an out for OFC.
Oh!
OFC has the. He would have lost
$3,100.
everything. John has to call with the ace high flush
Yeah.
draw. There's only 2 cards to beat him.
And he's going all in. Oh, John, I think John lays it down.
He did fold.
And I wonder what OFC's going to hear the news that Duck folded to win an hand. Oh, that would have been brutal, though.
That would have been so rough.
Maybe this is a hand that turns OFC's night around. As Kim says, yep, the action card.
Yeah, fold. Mine.
OFC. I folded the 10.
I folded
I folded the 10.
I folded the 8.
Wow.
I folded not Jack 10.
Dime.
OFC, that's how bad you're running. I mean, this has been so like.
And then Doug just rubbing salt in the wound, even when OFC takes the pot down, letting him know he's running so bad he shouldn't.
Wow, but
He's actually running good that Duck folded.
He was open.
That was
All of that.
What else am I calling 350 when he's holding the ace over there? On the turn? It's a big bet, right? If that big bet was not there, then it's easier. Then it's hard for him to put me on straight flush. Calling 350 without an ace. What else could it be?
yeah, but I mean, I would.
There's more chances that I have it.
Right, right.
I should just be raising.
But that's just surprising. I didn't even think about it.
Benham is so impressed that John snap folded the ace high flush.
That's straight.
OFC. How do we both have a straight flush there? I folded for
And I
350.
have the fucking.
Ugh. That would have been gross.
What a
I did,
cooler.
I was like,
I'll have to do it.
Okay, so we
Definitely banned for life, Doug.
Now this is-
yeah, if I had a
Heads up
straight
here.
flush against straight flush after 9.
Oh,
I was like,
this is
I'm not
OFC's
playing
game.
this game.
Thursday,
He controls the lineup. He just told Chuck
I
if he beat him with
stack you when you have a
if he beat him with a straight flush over a straight flush, he would be banned for life.
a lot of work.
Anybody got so we got an open ender with Brad. Nut flush draw with John. And right now it looks like pocket 7 still in the lead. Nope, ace queen's in the lead with John still. So John, well,
John's got top pair, great kicker, nut draw.
now let's see if that gets rid of it. Yeah, the open ender against the flush draw.
Yeah, John does.
Right here, it's gonna hurt John since he snap folded that nut flush a while ago. I think it's gonna be a lot easier to put him on this with him betting it. I would have had to at least think about the nut flush for a few minutes, for a few seconds before I folded
Yeah.
it.
That's why John's super pro.
We'll do continuous net because we haven't even, it barely doesn't work.
Yeah, I would have been okay with you banning me.
I mean, it's pretty tight, but I mean, he does at least see some flops.
All right, you're done. Oh, we're not keeping any of this one. That's the next.
But he seems to get out of there if you don't hit. You know, that's something I need to learn, get a little better at. Realizing, hey, bottom pair is not good on the flop.
Oh,
If a 9 stays or 5, I have to not.
no, with one.
13.
13, 10 of diamonds. Doesn't matter.
What's your?
Straight flush.
Oh, yeah.
Now John just rubbing salt in the duck's
Yeah,
wound
terrible
there.
fold.
You had to call that. Come on.
But after it goes a 350 call fall.
I also thought 9.
Duck's thinking of all of the cards that would have made him the nuts.
Nobody has.
Yeah,
The only one who could have flash was Fred.
And the only one that would have done it was that 9.
Why did you
Well, I guess another offsuit 9 could have got him there for the straight, right?
Right. That's what he was picking out, all the different cards that would have got him the nuts.
What happened? Okay. I tell you, because of the way I played the hand for that job, like
I thought my straight was.
I win that hand if I just play it straight up. You're in, you're out, and you're I just make it like 1 or 3. Yeah.
5, 5, 10, 20. David Alexander in the 4C puts on the $40 straddle.
With his stack, I would not be surprised to see it, no matter what he has. It puts it in there because remember, he's around 600 right
Yeah, that's a good plan. He gets 3 or 4 callers in there. 40, 80, 120, 160. He can just pile in there. Somebody raises to 200.
now. He can still get away from it.
It was nowhere near you.
Well, this would be interesting right now if all these people hang out in there with the clubs.
Yeah, we knew it. We called that one. You called that one. I agreed with you. He puts on that triple straddle so that he can build a pot to steal.
And he's a little upgraded here from his 810 normal to his 910.
It's way better than his normal range. We missed how he lost his stack, but he's been battling back from a $500 stack for the last hour. 357 gives Mitch a gut shot. Obviously, everybody has a club, so they're not going to hit it. OFC has a middle pair with a 5. Mitch is going to call. No, he's going to. Yeah, that's a call. I thought he was calling out raising chips.
Mitch got the gut shot or a queen right now.
Queen ball.
Which means the Indian is drawing dead.
Wow. King on the river. OFC does give up. OFC is frustrated that he didn't win that pot somehow.
I mean, I could be wrong, but on a normal night, I feel like he would have maybe fired there. I just think he's trying to. I mean, he knows he's not running the best, and
Well, yeah, he's got. When you get snap called with I paired my 5, and there no draws came home, so the guy wasn't calling you with a draw. So you can just check back for showdown value with a 5. If he missed his draw, he's not gonna win the pot anyway.
I thought the king might be an all right card to represent, though. But I guess since he was already betting, he has something else on the board. Nothing really goes with the king that he already had.
Right.
Considering he just had to rebuy that massage must have been really good. He still looks very relaxed and calm. The Indian does.
Ooh,
You what? In a minute, Dex will run me over. Get you right in the face. You're happy.
David Alexander says, in a minute, the deck's going to run me over and y'all are in trouble.
Give me some fat.
I've seen him on a day when the deck's hitting.
Oh, my goodness. I've been there.
Been on both sides of that one. Been the guy getting hit by the deck every which way it could, and then the guy getting hit by the other guy. So what's our VPIP looking like?
Let's check it out after this hand.
No, I mean, I couldn't even show down.
Well, so just a little pot.
Check out these VPIPs. We got Duck at 90%. Now, this has only been about 5 hands. Well, maybe. How long has it been?
Orbit, a little over an orbit.
Okay, so
I
it's
mean, you
been
get them all
10
on
hands.
even hands. Or I'm assuming it's been 10 hands.
Yeah, it could be 10 hands. So Duck's at 9, OFC's at 8, Indian and Hayden at 7. Oh, we just finished that hand, and the VPIPs all got changed.
We got Brad at 45. And then C1 is a little low VPIP right now.
Benham? Yeah, he's the low stack with 21. Benham and Brad. We have baked chips. Do you know, I went to order some sun chips this weekend. There's no Sam's Club within 150 miles that has sun chips. My guess is for graduation, like everybody ordered sun chips for their graduation open houses. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Or maybe there's a run on sun chips for some reason. But yeah, there's not a Sam's Club within 150 miles that has sun chips. Mitch is eating Doritos.
There's currently a recall
Really?
on Frito-Lay brand Sun Chips multigrain harvest cheddar snacks.
All right. Why?
An original Munchie snack mix due to possible salmonella contamination, according to OneHealth.org. Let me give the credit where it goes. That way, if they're wrong, it's not me.
Well, that story checks out because Sam's Club does not have sun chips within 150 miles. J-Rock flops an open ender. The Indian bets nothing, turns a backdoor flush draw, needs an ace, and an ace won't do it. He's actually ahead right now. He needs J-Rock needs an ace or a 6 to make a straight and a 4 or 5 to make a pair that will still be good.
The Indian needs the 6 of diamonds for the deck to run him over.
Let's go. And J-Rock's not going to see the 6 of diamonds becoming runner flush.
Especially not with him betting it on the flop.
Oh, it's a 6, but it's not a diamond. Gives J-Rock the nuts. Stone cold nutter butters. And you can't blame the Indian now because the 6 is not a scary card doll. 1,600 in the pot. J-Rock bets 550. Just
Indian smells the trap.
You know, I didn't put you on 4-5 because I had pocket fours. So I'm like, it's really hard for you to have 4-5. But you could.
Oh, see, something that makes you remember that no matter what, you always have a different perspective on what other people can have based on what your holding cards are.
That's it.
That's why I stopped. I made a good fucking read. I was gonna make a move. Well, I was gonna act like I had the king there again, and then all of a sudden you fucking, and I went, oh shit. He got fucking straight. I didn't know that. I got Joel Neal and I have to be careful with buttons again.
Now I'm back.
Couldn't have been the 6 of diamonds.
I'll do it here. Yeah, that would have sucked. As far as I got it.
Hey, so bad news for Dallas fans. The basketball guys are getting killed. Good news for poker fans. We're going to have Dan Simone jump in the box.
Everybody got it, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Joel.
Hey. Oh, give him one.
Dude, what's happening?
How much? Yeah, y'all. First time
meeting my co-host here tonight.
I've listened to quite a few of his streams, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I started listening to you back before it was even Poker House Peak.
Nice to meet you, buddy. How's the game going?
It's it's been a bad night for OFC so far.
Ooh. That's probably good for me later when he plays the 1-2 after the stream's over.
Or you never know, it might be time for him to get even.
All right, so I got back in because the Mavericks getting blown out by 30 in the first half, and I was like, I'd rather watch some poker, right?
Right.
And now I'm sitting down, and we're already 7-handed to a flop for $525.
Yeah, Texas heads up with a lot of people with the hard draws.
Duck flop's top pair, though. Top for Duck. He's got 45% equity. I would bet it this 2 multi-way.
And J-Rex got a deuce, so.
God, I love this lineup, man. I was watching this on my phone at Stan's. I was like, this is a fantastic mix.
Yeah.
Mitch has been wild. Last week, he got just torn apart, just running terribly. Duck's one of my good friends. Where do you usually play? Why have I never seen you before? What are you doing in town?
Well, I started coming over here some. I originally, Eric got me to play on the live stream in Fort Worth.
Nice.
Then they Poker House moved in here. So I've come over here some. I play all over town.
Hell yeah.
There's a few places. I mean, depending on what you're looking for. I mean, this room's so nice. It's hard not to come here. I mean, just
It's my favorite. So J-Rock did make that call on the flop with a deuce. Duck is going to put the pressure on still with the 7, makes it 600. I don't know how J-Rock can hold on now. There are a bunch of bluffs out there that he has.
I don't remember if Duck has the nit or not. Duck and J-Rock both look like they have their nit.
Oh,
buttons.
yeah. I could see it back there behind his stacks. He does have a nit button.
And
Still,
that might
though,
be the only way J-Rock could bring himself to make the call. But
Queen Deuce cannot make this call. Duck shows the 7, wins $675 and gets rid of his nit button. That's nice,
Duck's
buddy.
been having a good day. You missed it earlier, though.
I have to see this right now. What did I miss earlier?
Duck folds on the turn with a 10 of diamonds. OFC has a 5 of diamonds. The river comes with a 9 of diamonds. Would have gave them both a straight flush. That's just how OFC's been running tonight. I mean, if Duck would have called that, it would have been over.
Thank God he didn't. OFC, jeez, dude. I've never seen him start this bad in a while. Probably ever.
And he's fought back some.
He's just running into it, huh?
Oh yeah, he's fought back some though. He's climbing out of it a little bit slowly.
So Brad was subbing in for me to commentate tonight, and he got offered a seat in this incredible game and took it, and he is stuck.
Well, in Brad's defense, you got to have a little more than a 20% VPIP to really.
Oh, he's gonna love to hear that.
Oh, Brad's one of the few that actually I've played with quite a bit. So.
Oh, nice.
He's a great player. Just.
Holy hell! It's just Kim Fortini in the chat. What up, Kim Fortini? If you're still watching.
Yeah, we
I
had
see.
technical issues at first, and we had a few people in there, and then technical issues, we lost them.
See Mr. Piper in here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This is pretty standard OFC Thursday night stuff. 6 ways to a flop again. Even though this one was limped, the pot's much smaller.
Brad's got to love this flop with his middle pair flush draw.
Brad got himself a real tight haircut. High and tight. Looking sharp, my man. Yeah, Brad with one of the last 2 with a nit button. Loves this flop. You're absolutely right.
Especially when the Indian has the 8.
Ooh. David.
The only thing saving Brad right here is the fact that the 7 of clubs cannot come. Or the 3 of clubs. So there is no way for him to get a full house and a flush.
Brad doesn't get there. Indian checks his trips, hoping Brad will triple fire.
And Brad with 2 pair.
No, he gives up with that 3. That's a bummer, Brad. He's going to lose the net game, too. Woof. Nice pot, David.
Yeah, it looks like the net game really changed a little bit. They're putting it on the. Well, they might have changed it now back. But earlier they were putting it on the button, and to win it, you had to be the small blind to win the hand.
Okay, yeah, no, I am confused now because the graphics are showing that we only had 2 players with nit buttons left, but I'm looking at like 5. Okay, so this got a little janky. No worries. We'll just use our eyes and decide who has nit buttons left. So what I'm looking at is John Harris in the 1 seat, Brad in the 2 seat. We got Mitch in the 5 seat.
OFC's in the 3.
OFC has 1 too in the 3. Okay, yeah. All right, so the next game just started. Most players have them.
Yeah, everybody got the 4 and the 9.
Very important. The nit game pretty much changes everything. We're also playing the VPIP game tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Who's lost?
Brad lost it.
Oh, buddy. So Brad lost. He was bottom of the VPIP chart.
In Brad's defense, though, that
Who
first
did he
hour
pay
he was up
$100
on.
bucks?
He paid it to Duck.
Duck had the highest VPIP. Way to go, Duck.
And it looks like Duck's running away with it again right now, too.
All right. Poker House says Brad also lost the VPIP game to Duck. Yeah. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, folks, we got actually looks like a pretty fun lineup on the table on the main floor too.
This lineup here though is one of those that got a great mix. So.
Fantastic lineup. We're three-handed to a flop here for 260. Everybody whiffs. Brad's got that ace of spades for backdoor nut flush draw stuff.
And for some bluff equity, maybe.
He was the pre-flop raiser, so he can rep a strong hand here with the C-bet even three ways. It's right in the middle. He takes it down, gets rid of his nit button with that ace high.
Might be a little turnaround for Brad right there with momentum swing.
Ooh. I do not believe in momentum.
You know,
Poker gods are cruel, dude. Every hand sets over.
Oh,
Every hand resets, and
no, I believe
it's
you
just
have
about
momentum.
battles.
You have momentum until you think you have it. Then that's when the poker gods come in.
I guess there's an argument that if you win some pots, you get a little more confident to make moves. That if sometimes you get a little sheepish and don't make the moves you should, but now you're winning pots, and so now you're confident to make the right moves.
Or you're confident.
That's fair. I believe in that momentum,
Or
but
when
I usually don't see it.
Or when you get on a bad run.
No, just leave it open. It's a little echoey in here.
Or when you get on a really bad run and you lose confidence.
Oh, yeah. That's negative momentum, and that's what's called going on tilt. There's all kinds of different tilt. If you're getting just demolished and you're losing everything, and you tighten up into a turtle so hard that you're not playing the way you're supposed to, but you're not playing your A game because you're having this feeling you're going to lose, that's bad tilt.
It took me a long time to learn. Sometimes it's worth missing a hand or two to take a walk.
Yes. I haven't gotten tilted in a while, but 3 nights ago, I was playing 1-3 here with OFC. He 4-bets me with 7 deuce, turns 2 pair, and stacks me. Son of a bitch. He's going big now. He's got the best hand. Mitch has to fold. Yeah, we're getting blown away. Keep that open, Lukey. Thanks, dude. Actually, let's just close this. All right, what kind of charts do we need to look at right now? We are a little bit into our 3rd hour, so these numbers just reset. And this is like a 5-hand sample, probably. So inconsequential, but early days in the VPIP game for this hour 3. Duck just pretty much with his new VPIP strategy, he hasn't lost the VPIP game once. He'll do some limping, keep his VPIP up. He'll make some light calls to see some flops. It's pretty smart. He definitely learned it from Hayden. OFC's making OFC moves, opening to 40 with 4 deuce of hearts. He's getting a bunch of calls.
Getting called by Mitch with bigger hearts could lead to trouble with the Motown.
Jackson 5 Motown, boy. All right, no one flops a flush draw. The best hand out there is Duck's pair of 6s. And we expected that flop to check around. J-Rock turns a bigger pair. He now has 40% equity. Hayden with his gut shot straight draw has 30%. But it's Mitch that's going to bet out with air. Scratch that. He's open-ended with that 5. So he's going to turn his hand to a semi-bluff here for $200. With so many bluffs out there, J-Rock makes the call with his 8. Rather, potential semi-bluffs. Ooh, Mitch gets there on the good side.
It's always nice when you bet it before you get it.
What kind of sizing do you like to do?
I'm more of the timid side right here. I'd probably go Well, he bet more than I would have.
He did the opposite, buddy. Mitch with a giant overbet.
I'm a fan of if you know you have the nuts, the big oversized bet to make it look suspicious sometimes.
Oh no. That's a good tactic.
But right there with the 5, I mean,
There's a 4-liner out there to a straight, right? A 5 makes a straight. Mitch is saying I have a 5 or nothing. Hyperpolarized. J-Rock makes the right fold. And Mitch shows that 5 for the straights. Nice hand, buddy. Mitch has about 5,500 in front of him.
I mean, I think the worst I've ever done on a huge overbet's 1,300 into a $400 pot. And got
Yeah,
called.
no, that's a big overbet.
He got called because I was 4 to a straight, and I had the 2 overcards for the nut straight.
Ooh. Scoopy?
Yeah, it was a 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, and I had 8, 9, and the guy had a 4.
Right on. David Alexander's short stacking it. And there's a lot of money on the table because this is Max's stack. Happens every week. So these boys got deep pockets. Let's play big pots. Here, Poker House at Peaks. Hey, so do you know what they're doing with the chips on the dealer button there? Is that
Yeah,
for like an
that's
extra
Small,
tip?
if you win as the small blind,
Yeah.
you get the dealer button. It's not for the dealer; it's for the player on the small blind.
If you win the hand as the small blind, you get the money that's on the dealer
At
button.
least that's how they were doing it earlier,
That is
and that's to
bizarre.
incentivize you to play out of position on the small blind.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get that.
I mean,
I've just never seen that in my life.
with this group,
With this group, there's a lot of new shit that we hadn't seen in our lives. And again, we're 7-handed to a flop. Single raise flop 40.
J-Rock
Brad with a
7.
pre-flop razor. Brad's ace queen
And
misses.
that's not a bad flop for pocket 7s either.
Right now, it's Indian with the most equity somehow. He will bet too.
What does he have to give him the most equity? 4 with a couple of backdoor straight draws. And now, when everybody else folds, it gives the equity to J-Rock. Ooh.
Venom did float with some cool backdoor stuff, and now he's turn open-ended, and he's gonna semi-bluff right now, picking up that these players might be weak. He gets it through with Jack high. Good semi-bluff, buddy, and gets rid of his knit button. That's the Venom I know. And the money from the knit game goes into the button. J-Rock won and chipped the dealer 100.
Yeah, the net, instead of going to someone else, they add it to the button. So you get a pretty big. They had like
So it's not a splash pot anymore. They just put
They
the.
put it on there to incentivize a small blind. Earlier, it was like they had it was almost like a $250 on the.
Whose idea was this? Eric, whose idea was this?
He's kind of into that.
That is
That's what the hat means.
wild and crazy. Let's see how it works out. This is hand 44 of our 5-5-10 OFC's game. Hayden has a knit button, so he limps. John with a real hand to raise with on the cutoff. He's going to go at least to like 85.
J-Rock lets the flat tire down. Go. Same answer I gave you.
No.
We didn't even know about that change until part of the way through. We kind of had to figure it out as we were going.
Duck's got some kick-ass crackers. Very live, 5-4 clubs in the small blind. He makes the call, but like pretty much everyone else does too.
So, hey,
No, Hayden doesn't. But like, all right. So we're waiting for some graphics to catch up. And now I'm seeing that Benham has like cold 4-bet. Oh, he's got queens. Okay, fantastic. As well he should. And it's big. It's $500. Ooh-wee. He don't even have a knit button. Benham. There's so much dead money out there relative to like the pre-flop action, or just like relative to anything.
he was happy with what was.
So he goes super big and gets it done now.
Hey, winning a small pot.
Oh no, duck flop top 2 pair. JoJo ran out the flop and duck. Duck would have flop 5-4 2 pair. Fantastic.
Duck has flopped a few hands tonight that would have really got him paid. But he made the right move when he did it, I believe.
Yeah. Oh damn. Mavericks cut it to 13.
See, maybe you're the good luck charm by being in the box.
Okay.
Here.
I'll keep an eye on this.
All right. Oh, this is good to see some fireworks.
So I do a bunch of dumb shit in here on the microphone, and for whatever reason, when I see King on the graphics here, I call them the crazy kick-ass boys. Hayden just flatted though, because this table's so just aggressive, hoping that like OFC would at least raise. Hayden was planning to back raise.
This could
And he got himself in trouble. Now he's playing King 7-handed.
Remember, half the people that.
Couple boys flop a pair of 3s. Benham's got a gut shot to a 5. Mitch is going to lead out with his king high flush draw. And Hayden has to raise now with kings. I like this against Mitch. He's got a nice overpair. He's getting value from Mitch's flush draw for sure.
Ooh. Now got a gut shot from Mitch. Give him a
Yeah,
couple more outs.
little combo draw. Picked up some equity. 30% from Mitch.
540 on the pot. So.
If I'm Hayden here with kings and this queen is like pretty much in a limp pot, this multi-way, like everyone's range is wide open and the queen is kind of inconsequential, so you just always bet. And it's
He needed to make it at least about 320, 330 to make it where Mitch isn't getting the equity price. But I mean, it'd be close, but he bet what, 400? So Mitch still calls. So
interesting card.
does Mitch take a stab at it?
Mitch trying to represent a jack here would be disastrous because Hayden just wouldn't fold. Hayden does check back for safety. He knows he's not getting called by a worse, really. Except possibly like a queen high flush draw that turned to queen. And Hayden did make some money with those kings after limping pre-flops, so that time it worked out for him, but it was risky. Limping queens, middle position. All right, I'm here for like 5 hands. I like what I'm seeing. These boys are being aggressive. We got a dealer change? Who's coming in the box now? Who's that, Michael? Oh, it's Miguel.
All right. Earlier, they reset everything when they did the dealer change.
Reset everything, how?
Like they refreshed restarted the VPIP and everything. I don't know if they're going to do it. That way they keep track of it.
Nah, I think the timing's off. Nothing to worry about now. Benham's our big chip winner. OFC's still very stuck. And it's way more in the hole than anyone else. It looks like it all went to Benham. And Hayden and John.
When he lost it, it was buried. He had lost something to Brad early, and then Brad gave it around to the table. It looked like.
All right, so everybody, what we're doing now is a $15 Annie PLO bomb pot. You get 4 cards. They put out 2 boards. It's a split pot game. The winner of the top board gets half. Winner of the bottom board gets half.
And normally
if
the
you
third
get
one in there
both
goes
boards,
broke.
you go scoopy.
But normally the third one in there goes broke because of losing them both.
Yeah. And these are uncapped, so sometimes you can get very big. And yeah, no, Doc's not here tonight. Oh, yeah, he's traveling. Doc's one of our favorites on Thursday nights. He will mix it up in a bomb pot.
I'm not going to lie, bomb bots scare me sometimes.
You got to be very cautious.
I'm that guy when I flop the nut straight on both boards. I want to go, and then someone's got a set on one, and someone's got the flush draw on the other, and I just lose them both.
Those are expensive lessons to learn, buddy. This seems to have checked around. No one has much of anything, and there's so many colorful rectangles in the graphics right now. Cheat code is to just look at the equities.
Duck has a full house on top now.
And 58% equity. Very little on the bottom for Duck, but he takes this down. No one else had anything to call with. So that was a very quick bomb pot. And Duck's going to pick up 120 bucks.
Hey, you take home 120 on a bomb pot, be happy. It's better than what you can lose.
For sure. For sure. This doesn't reset. I always like to take a look at this. This graphic is a little like tricky to wrap your head around intuitively. But
If you're the initial
it's just a
raise,
good
right?
indicator of just like relatively who's playing more aggressively, who's playing more passively. I'm actually surprised to see John at the bottom of this chart. This is also a decent proxy for like how card dead people are. OFC being at the top of this aggression frequency table and being the most stuck, down 5K, is also a little decent story that the numbers tell you.
He's been second or third. He's had good hands, just not the nuts a lot of times.
And second best is the worst. A whole lot of nothing in this hand. And we're 6 ways in a limped pot.
Most he hits the 6 and Hayden hits a 4 with Benham hitting a 10. So everybody got a little, well, 3 of them got a little bit of something and the other 3 just way out there.
It'll be a little more than that today.
Based on the turn, slows down Benham and he checks his 10.
6. Thank God I'm 9 today.
And we're going to put that in the category of one of the more boring hands we'll see tonight. We'll just move on to the next one. Doesn't cost us nothing. Just a little bit of time. I really want to see Brad get unstuck. He's a really strong player, a good friend of mine, jazz drummer, and a damn good dealer.
Brad's a good guy in general. Eric asked me this question earlier. I want to get your opinion on it. Are you a run it once or run it twice guy?
I started as just I always go once, and I announced that to the table because I don't really care about the variance at the stakes I play at. But I've decided that I want to do what's best for the game, and if the villain wants to run it twice, I will always let them.
Okay, then the Indian with pocket aces here.
The sharp pointy ones goes to 115 over a bunch of limps. So he more than pots it, gets a call from a much worse hand than J-Rocks. Mitch also made the call, and OFC getting an incredible price calls as well. So Indian has to fade a lot of good hands. We're 5-handed. This pot is ballooned up to $600. Oh boy. Single suited board, all diamonds. Indian's got the gut shot straight flush draw. Indian checks
Turn
here.
an open under straight draw.
And now Mitch hits his straights.
Man,
Mitch just binks the gut shot on the turn. He could win a decent chunk here. OFC feeling weakness because the flop checked around. He's going to lead out into the field for 150.
with his gut shot and flush draw.
And absolutely, Mitch needs to raise here. He makes it 600. That's healthy. Back to John now has a top pair and an open and a straight draw that he has to fold. OFC's gone. Indian hates to fold stuff like this. And Mitch's hand is a little sneaky. Hitting gut shots always is. Indian doesn't hit his flush. But he goes all in for his last 95, and he's going to see bad news and just like, how am I running this bad?
Oh my God, you're fucking voodoo. Voodoo magical.
Ooh, we got the table mic up, kind of hot, but I can barely hear it.
He was saying he was telling Indian was and the other guys got voodoo magic on him.
No, Indian's running pretty rough this week. So Mitch stacks Indian, and now we gotta wait to see if David Alexander wants to fight back or call it a night. Looks like he's re-upping. I think I want to take a look at this real quick. It's a 5-10 game. 7 of our players have over $3,000. And Mitch and Benham are our big stacks, with John and Duck like closely behind.
It's called A-B Shrek. A-B Shrek.
No, maybe.
Started out as poker, but now it's like athleisure.
Yeah, David has rebought. He's got some money behind. We're not sure what it is yet. But he can't run this bad for long.
It's a pain in the ass. It is, man. Wait till you get a pen.
Duck keeping that VPIP up, limping with 7 deuce. Benham's ace-jack offsuit and the hijack goes to 50 for sure. Did OFC call with his 6-3 off on the button?
I believe he did.
He's always in the mood to potentially make moves on a later street. It's a good mood to be in.
He sets himself up nicely to do it quite often, too.
He sure does. Mitch puts on an anaconda squeeze with 8s. I like that. Very aggressive, Mitch. Push these guys around. Yes. It really, folks, it really doesn't matter what 2 cards OFC has. He's on the button, and he wants to play pots with these players that he thinks he has the edge on later streets. David Alexander flops top pair. He's loving that right now. He does check and lets Mitch c-bet for 300.
I think David's going to get it all in here.
It depends how much he rebought for.
If the number's right there saying he has 790, I think he's going to. If the number's right.
So it looked that he just rebought for. Oh, let's see. Oh, David, you jumped the gun, buddy. OFC noticed that you were stacking up to jam, and he was going to make the call with the 6, but he folded instead. David, you gave a bunch of information away for free, my man. Got a little too eager.
I blame the massage. He's so relaxed right now.
A little too relaxed right now. Oh, and Mitch makes the call with his 8s. Okay. Putting David on a bluff on some sort of draw. There are quite a few draws that would make a move like this.
Jack King or 9-Jack or spades.
Oh, yeah. So many draws that could do that. David Alexander's queen holds up, and he will double up immediately after getting stacked from Mitch. So, nice tete-a-tete.
Wanted his chips back at home.
Gets his chips back immediately. Way to go, David. And actually, way to go, Mitch, for obliging. Giving action, not being too tight. Oh, yeah, I see what's going on here. So David was in the small blind, and all that money that was on the button, he just took it down because he won the pot.
Yep. That's what they're doing for the. And I can't remember how much they're putting on it when it goes by each person.
How the hell is Action Tracker going to keep track of that shit and make sure the stack sizes are right?
I don't think it's going to be able to.
Answer that question, Eric.
And he doesn't mean this Eric. He means the other Eric.
One of us is gonna end up
There's like 7.
Well, I was named after
50.
my dad's a guitar player, and I was named after one.
Clapton boy, huh?
The funniest part of that is my mom had a different name picked out. Went for a C-section. My dad changed the name when the nurse asked him. You want to know what the best part of that story is? They celebrate 50 years this November.
All right. That was a good story. So she didn't divorce him when she changed your name without telling you.
Nope. He kept the middle name the same because it's after him.
Okay. All right, so J-Rock just goes 225 with a knit button with his 5 here.
Eric answered you. It won't.
Oh, thanks, Eric. Yeah, I love this new game. Pretty much got to put a stop to that.
Hey, so far it's actually induced quite a bit of action for the small blind.
Oh, I'm all about the small blind being active, but there's other ways to do it. Mitch has the queen high flush draw.
OFC with 5-7, the diamond.
Oh, and he makes a big ass raise here.
So 2 pair and a backdoor straight flush draw.
This is gonna get fun, Eric.
Oh, and then J-Rock with the queen 5.
Duck is slapping, it flies.
Is he doing it or does he just want attention?
Oh, J-Rock? No, he was
No, is he actually going after a fly or does he just want attention?
no, he doesn't need attention. He's just trying to kill flies. Yeah, this is a really interesting spot. OFC with bottom 2 pair.
Let's be real here. It's OFC. If he thinks about this long enough, he's capable of making the right read just with it being a rough night for him, does he?
Oh, OFC is always an elite hand reader.
Oh, and that's
the
what
best quality.
Like
have you watched these streams? He'll call out people's exact hands.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Is there merit in raising here? It looks like there might be. Yeah, OFC's chopping out a big ass raise, or
I'm gonna go with.
Or he might just be counting his stack.
I'm gonna go with OFC raises here. There's probably merit in it. Do I see it? I'm not a good enough player to know it. I would probably just kill one and hope another card for the flush or straight don't come, and then ship it on the turn.
Yeah, the first question you ask yourself is, Mitch is in the small blind. Did he really just flop a straight with 6-9 or 6-4?
No, see, that's why I go broke. I don't ask myself those questions.
Oh, yeah, you should start.
I'm working on it. It's a learning process here.
And OFC is thinking through the whole entire plan for the hand. If I call here, what happens on the turn? And it looks like he's about to fold.
Yeah, because they have a.
Oh, OFC hits the table hard.
Do you know what they're doing, the Lammers?
Yes.
They changed it though. If someone they were talking about doing it to where if someone gives you pays to see yours, you get to keep that Lammer now, so you have more. So like if 5 people throw the Lammer to see OFC's hand,
interesting.
I don't know if they completely enforced it yet. There was a debate about it earlier, and I believe it went into effect. I just haven't. They're hard to see on the board, so it's.
No, that's a cool little bit.
And it's because, like OFC said, if 5 people want to see my hand, I want to be able to see 5 other ones later.
Yeah, OFC's kicked himself, but like honestly, the raise was so big. There are a bunch of draws out there, and you basically just have to plan what is going to happen on a turn. If I just call and I have $2,000 left, and the pot is like 2,500. What sort of turns do I have to call off my stack with just 7-5? There are sets out there from the small blind. He can flop straights. OFC decided that Mitch could have all the straights, really.
I mean,
and
if it was top 2 instead of bottom 2, that probably affects his decision quite a bit too.
Oh, yeah. Marginally. But seriously, tough spot for OFC, and it was basically, I think it was a jam or fold type of spot. Against Mitch specifically? Yeah, we'll ask him about it later. He wasn't happy about seeing the heart draw though.
Well, he just said he wasn't calling. It was
You can hear that?
I couldn't quite hear all he said, but he said I wasn't calling it. So I'm assuming it was either a jam or fold situation for him.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm assuming. So. Oh, John with pocket threes.
Oh, fun.
With
Bottom
two people.
set.
Oh, and Mitch has an overpair to the board.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
And John.
A decently wet board too, except for that dragger. Big ass bet from Mitch. 500 into 645. John's in heaven. They're both deep.
Sometimes a very heavy.
The 10 of hearts could cause some fireworks here.
Mitch three-handed. Oh, that could slow things down. That heart getting there. Mitch does have the queen of hearts. He does check back, so it did slow things down. A heart would be gross. Oh no, John. Yucky. Yucky ducky. Now we go small. 500. Gets paid off by the set. Mitch is still running hot, I guess. Mitchy, man. Basically, from what I've seen so far, pretty much the opposite of how his night went last week.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch the stream last week yet.
And John is shaking his head in disgust.
Can you ask for VPIP? I don't know what's going on.
Can we ask for VPIP? OFC, it's
Eric.
everybody's over 40, so that's a good game, dude.
Well, because they were supposed to pay it off, I think, on the dealer change, like I was saying earlier, and then they reset it.
Oh, I see. They'll figure it out.
Because they had the software change. I don't know if Eric had told you that, where they can reset the VPIP in the middle of the game without resetting any other stat.
Oh, Eric tells me about all the software changes.
Like, he
It's
explained
his
it to me
favorite
tonight.
thing.
I didn't know if that was like, if it just recently happened or if it had been.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, just rip the Band-Aid off. Tell me how much behind I am behind everybody.
Say that again. All right, but to make it official, 46, 38, way better.
Hey,
84, 69, 65, 61, 42, 50, 92.
This is what Eric's reading off, folks.
How much was that? What was that?
See, Brad had to pay duck again.
Brad was
Look at 92. Just absurd.
What was that?
And that, folks, is Eric Anderson,
69, OFC is 84.
the boss.
Mitch is
So
65.
Brad's had to pay 2 VPIPs to duck.
and I
tonight.
told it 2 months. 62.
Whatever,
All right, it's better than it was last time around, huh?
whatever, Duck's philosophy is, you said the limp and stuff on a few of them. Looks like it's working pretty good for his VPIP game.
Oh, he's figured this out. Indian just flatted with the queens here. Let's keep an eye on
Ooh,
that.
this,
I didn't say his birth pictures.
and Diamonds look like it could be interesting here.
Brad was the razor. Indian's getting tricky. He'll do that on you. He'll get sneaky on you. Oh, boy. Middle set for Indian. Top pair, good kicker for John.
OFC middle pair.
Oh, David, I love it, dude. I love it. This boils down to a decision in David's brain, in the Indians' brain, that one of these 4 players has to have a good ace, right? And it's John who made the call. OFC calls with the queen as well. So this could get a little uglier, but
OFC with the computer hand. So
Indian has a lock on it.
To put money in the pot.
Yeah, that is the suited computer.
The worst part of it is that they all
75% bet for David. Gets the call from John's ace jack. A jack would be a nightmare, or an ace would be a nightmare. Anyway, that's pretty safe. Very bricky.
I can't get anyone off my hand. And then we played.
David knows not to go too big.
I know now he's going with this a little big enough to make it kind of suspicious.
And he went all in.
700 or 1,000.
Twice and they won both
He
boards.
went both boards.
Gets paid off. David. John. shaking his head. Very sneaky. Good trapping, David. He just flatted pre-flop with queens for $40. Flopped it set. Went 3 streets. Got paid on all 3 streets. That is ideal.
Not just the set, the case queen.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Good play, David. See, this is the type of momentum that I hope David finds. He's doubled up. He got stacked, right? Thought he was running bad. He got stacked twice. He doubled up through Mitch, who stacked him a second ago. And now he got paid with this set of queens. In David's mind, he's about to go on a roll. He's about to go on a little hita.
And he is a very aggressive player when he gets going.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
That whole part of the table, him and OFC both can bet it like they got it, whether or not they do.
For sure.
He just likes to make me run and jump through hoops and stuff.
Looks like everybody's wanting to play a 7 or a 6 right now.
I like the raise from John with the 7-6 suited connector on the button. Everybody limped. He's got a knit button. No sort of real strength out there.
And all 4 7s have now been shown.
OFC does make a light call for this size, thinking his ace high is still in good shape, which it is. Hayden? Suited 2-gapper? Is he going to get priced in by Mitch? Nope.
Hayden is very disciplined. I can respect that a lot.
Oh, well, I mean, one of the most solid players I've ever seen. Really good at Omaha.
Oh, and John. Lost it.
Look at his face.
I don't know. It almost looked like he just smirked.
Kind of, yeah. Flopping straight. Just going to overbet it now. He's got a knit button. Second pair top kicker for OFC. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Sean. Ask John how much he's got behind. That is pretty indicative that OFC likes his hand right now. Actually, it's indifferent. He could do that at any point.
I was about to say, he's pretty good about disguising it. I've heard him ask that with, I think, 2 matches.
Sean's kind of like a wizard about reverse tells.
Yeah. Any 2 napkins, he'd ask that
He
question.
chopped out the effective jam for John, who is in heaven. And he's now calls. A little misstep for OFC, who is stuck and about to get a little stucker. He is effectively dead with 4%. They're going twice, though. Dead? Hello. Kim Fortini. John's gonna scoop a monster pot, $4,600, and OFC gets stucker. A little bit of an overplay with that second pair. He was putting John on a lot of semi-bluffs that he was ahead of. Possibly had some fold equity to some overcards. And just unfortunate that John flopped a joint and he steps in it.
Well, John did pre-raise too, right?
Yeah, but
So,
I mean, you can
I'm
raise
guessing
with a lot.
I'm guessing OFC put him on the overcard spades with the flush draw.
Yeah. Something like that. I mean, yeah, something like that.
And with the pre-flop raise, that's about where I could see someone putting him. But
So what just happened? Who just lost the knit game?
Kim did say hello back now or whatever for you.
Oh, I saw.
Last week.
Well, the knit game's still going.
No, they just passed the little disc back out. And so it looks like we got a decent chunk of money on the button right now.
Yeah.
Your card dead, exactly.
I made card dead and my beat is still at 50%.
Will they tell me when my over gets here since I ordered one?
Yeah, you was that.
betting that David is old.
With a new knit game starting, no telling what kind of action we're going to see here on this next one.
I think you gotta lay odds, honestly. I mean, I think like not heavy, but like something. Basically, call. Like a 6 to 5 or something.
You just keep that. Something like that. You just every time you say it.
Seven people to the flop. Pocket 7 right now leading with Hayden.
What's worse?
That's some praying for it for Kim by Kim on the chat.
Yeah, no, you didn't even know any of that.
No.
You just happened to fucking have 10 days.
Yeah, because you know, I just, oh, I get that too, okay.
7 hit OC with an open ender. With the ace, it looks like Benham took the lead.
Thinking of a card again.
Oh, 5 just gave Mitch the wheel. Benham betting out with 2 pair. And Mitch raises it.
You're running on fire, buddy.
Hey,
I like to see
tomorrow
it.
don't run so well. Tomorrow don't run so well.
Yeah, that's why I do the market. Yeah, it's on the market.
Yeah, well, I hear the day tomorrow.
11 a.m. we play around.
Damn, I don't think I can get here. I'm not gonna get here around 1.
11.
You say they will. He will bust out that thing.
Around the beach.
Yeah.
1 to 3.
It's a very
15
active
match.
match.
It's around a reach, feel like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll fucking
You're all
destroy
about
it
that shit, David.
all. Fuck yeah, I'll destroy it.
There is 0 chance you destroy that thing.
They're talking about the round of each that happens.
No one will ever
No one's
destroy that.
folding.
Bring your
No one's
401k.
folding.
No one's folding.
You have to run
Kim,
good at that day.
Dave had to step out for a second. If you give him a minute, he'll do it. I'm not really a computer. I don't know how to do all the stuff on the computer, so I don't want to mess it up.
It's bad. Or fun, depending on how you look at it.
But he should be back in just
By the
a
way,
minute or
I
two.
was thinking of a card. That was the exact card I was thinking of. Why's it gotta be you? I call it.
She just checked. I think it's probably bad. That would definitely mark off. But that was easy.
You agree?
OFC and Hayden with pocket 9s. And OFC shipping it. And the Indian with pocket aces.
Yeah. Who gets the closest without going over?
$1.
It's 12, 10.
Ooh.
12, 10.
All right, I
Nice
go.
go. You gotta be careful of that ring. Fucks you up when you
It's
touch
all
it.
right.
This is a real man, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those are fighting for it.
Yeah, Cam, I don't think Hayden will call this.
I get
involved.
Remember this deal.
I'll just edit this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write it down. The reasons why I'm tilted today.
Oh, please.
Number 7.
It's only when it's
So
Yeah.
I almost raised Hayden, but I was like, I had to.
aces against OFC's 9s, which are drawing for a straight only because the
What'd you vote?
other 9s.
King 10 of spades.
I'll stay.
I think 8.
Okay, let's see the jack of spades first.
King 5. Oh.
Might be good.
Oh, that one.
I think I'm good. Should be good. Yeah, with ace jack is in there. Nobody seems happy. Nobody seems very happy right now.
Got some heart.
He had 800. I was calling.
Oh my god, now a jack ball?
I already know.
Oh my god, yeah, we know you got aces, but. Nice hand, David.
David, do you want to play something?
Indian
It's
scoop
all
set
hard. Hey, Dave, Sunday
with his
is-
pocket aces against OFC's
I
9s.
like that.
I know you
like that. My problem is,
Maybe can we lock it in here tonight so we hear it?
Good.
Hey,
My problem is I never show up on time.
what is
Yeah.
David, I forgot what
We've
we
been
did.
having some people show up later, super flushed out.
David.
Trying to keep people flushed
Yeah.
out. I can always text you. And we
Yeah, just text me.
Yeah.
And I'll show up because
Yeah.
what'll happen is,
And David.
you'll want to be here there at 5
OFC
o'clock on
shipped
Sunday. I'm
shipped
like,
it with pocket 9s. Indian called, and Hayden folded pocket 9s.
Oh no!
There he just was, yeah.
What?
Yeah, OFC pushed in with pocket nines. Indian called with pocket aces, and then Hayden had folded his pocket nines.
All right, good fold, Hayden.
And Kim was asking to see the stats. I told her I wouldn't go with the computer, so you had to hook her up with them when you got back in here.
Kim, what stats do you want to see?
And Kim, just remember, VPIP gets reset after every time.
Ooh, OFC now.
Yeah, I just
Thank you, dear.
if,
Down almost 10.
I don't think I get much. I'm gonna tell you what I tell my
Yeesh. How tilty is he gonna get? Hayden got them J-bones, makes it 60. John just flats with the ace-queen early versus early. That's interesting. He knows he's going to get a bunch of callers behind him. Doesn't want to bloat the pot too hard. John's actually out in front of Hayden by a little bit with all the hands remaining. And Hayden got 5 callers for $60. This pot's $385, 6 ways. Hayden has some dodge, some stuff. There's top pair, good kicker for John. And John checks his ace queen. Interesting. It's time to bet, though. He can get value from plenty of draws now. Plenty of weaker aces. Get value from jacks, possibly. And Hayden does make the call with jacks. He's got 1 out. That's not it. Oh, and John checks back. What a gentleman. Did not go for thin value. But I'm pretty sure that Hayden would have folded to a river bet. Possibly. Let's look at more stats, huh? Right, Kim? Stats forever. Poker forever.
I don't know if you guys know that, but
Kim, how do you feel about Hayden being at the bottom of this chart, huh? 27 is a little low. Oh, it just went up to 29 after his raise with jacks. He's got king-queen offsuit now. He will just call. I'm looking at quite a bit of trash out here, but everyone is going to keep their VPIPs up. And this is a limped pot, 7 ways. Fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, it would be awesome for us if everyone puts a subscribe on and turns on notifications. These games are really fun. Hayden just now turns top 2 with some potential straights to worry about.
and look, he ain't very good at this either. We're fucking checking.
Duck has open-ended right now, so he makes a call. OFC called with his really bad king. Can Duck get his straight? He doesn't.
I'm just glad a deuce didn't come for OFC there with what he's been running.
No, I did residential. I did a couple of commercial things, and that's the biggest fucking headache in the world.
Kim says that Hayden's playing a short stack strategy. Any strategy they decide on, or Hayden decides on, he's going to execute it at a very high level, and wins a small pot here. Top two pair. But I think he gets rid of his knit button, right? Toss that in, bud. There you go.
And everybody, don't forget, starting June 25th, there's the $65 buy-in for the 50K guaranteed.
Oh, right.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ, here we go.
No.
Oh, there's a bunch of fun stuff going on. There's a big-ass bad beat jackpot that's 40 grand right now.
Yep, and then the $1,500 free roll every day. of
Every
lunch.
day, 1,500?
I'm not gonna let him do it.
I don't even want aces because he's gonna crack them.
It's gonna go
I
off.
literally.
I am not gonna let him win.
Monday
Kim.
through Friday.
Yeah.
1,500 guaranteed free roll for the lunchtime.
Well, lunchtime free roll. A lot of free money. David has the best hand. Will he raise or just call?
So what do you think about that 50K guaranteed tournament though for 65?
Oh, it's an incredible value. Unfortunately, I do not play tournaments.
Hey, for that value, you might have to try.
I did get a spin on the wheel the other day for the high hand and won a buy-in to that tournament. So you're right. I probably will have to play that. Oh, boy.
Yeah, right there.
All right.
Mitch flops a monster.
Way to go.
Unfortunately for him, no one really has anything to go with it.
Mm-mm. OFC was the pre-flop raiser with his trash on the button.
Hey, I think you should
Make it a wasp when I'm in.
No, I mean, you might find a new love for tournament poker if you haven't played it much. It's a love-hate relationship for a lot of people. You either love it or hate it.
I have one.
I haven't decided yet. I probably need to give it a few more shots. OFC floats with just air, hoping to pick up on some weakness from Mitch on a turn to take it down with a bet. It's not going to happen this time. Mitch has this absolutely murdered. He goes 600 into 700.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Randy runs good.
And Mitch is running hot.
Not 11 o'clock.
Wins another 435.
Stop the move.
Who's our big winner right now? It's probably Mitch.
Mitch was in the hand of mouth.
He said.
Doug says if Mitch is in the hand, I'm going to fold. He's just running too hot. The boys in Austin would say OFC is throwing this party.
Have you?
I use that term too much now just to kind of poke fun. I mean, I like the Austin guys.
Have you had a chance to go down there and check out the house down there?
I haven't. I've not played at the lodge.
You ain't got a choice.
Every time I'm down there, I'm just
Coming after you.
like too busy visiting old friends and
Yeah.
sneaking away to play cards. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it down there and check out the poker house in Austin at some point.
Oh, that's right. We got one. I was talking about the lodge stream because like Skull Mike is a pretty good commentator. So we got the Indian 3-betting to 115. That is a small 3-bet on the button. Very small, in fact. If you're going to turn ace-4 suited into a bluff, what in the world is Mitch doing?
Maybe running a heater check?
No, dude. He's just like, David, small 3-bet to 115. He does not think he can be that strong. But there's also that money on the top of the button that Mitch can attack because he's in the small blind.
Good point.
That is a factor, right?
Looks like there's a couple $100 on there, so
OFC will just get a little looser when he's stuck, try to hit some home runs. Mitch gets 2 callers way behind. This pot is as bloated as possible. David flopping an ace. It's not a strong ace, but it's good right now. Mitch is 10 deuce. I think you have to give up when you get 2 callers for that amount of money.
he did hit middle pair.
All right, David. I like this. Play it strong.
75% of the pot, roughly.
Very healthy bet for sure, especially when it gets this big.
Oh, you shoot the next time. I got like 2 or 3 of them.
Mitch counting out chips. That are
Oh no!
raising chips or just Colin chips?
Oh, whoa! Oh, okay. Yeah, I was with you. I thought he might be raising. Makes the call with a 10. He's got 4 outs. But this is uncomfortable for David. Actually, you know what? When you 4-bet so big from the small blind and you check this flop, David is never putting you on an ace. He's just not. He checks back his weak ace. Got to fade a 4 outs. David's kicker really doesn't matter that much anymore. And Mitch is going to stab and try to bluff at this with his 10. He's getting snapped off, dude. Big misstep from Mitch. And David picks up $32.65 in a $6,000 pot with ace-4 suited.
Mitch went from the big winner tonight so far to is he still positive for it?
David, nice pot, brother.
They give me 20 guesses.
David makes a nice, astute check on the turn. Induces the bluff from Mitch on the river. Mitch is turning his 10 into a bluff. That is not a value bet.
That was a little small to be. Well, I guess you try to disguise it as a value bet.
That little distinction gets confusing sometimes, but either way, the results are the same. Big-ass pot for Indian.
Oh, yeah. Literally, it took Mitch way down there on what he had made tonight.
Hand 60. I'm looking at a bunch of fun stuff. A lot of playable hands.
This might be the hand that gets Mitch back up there, though.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Brad had 3-bet duck to 250 and Mitch on the button. Cold 4-bets to 600.
Now does
This is going to get through, too, because Brad can't do this. It's not that much more, and he's getting a decent price. 350 into 970. A little less than 3 to 1. He needs about 28% equity to make that call.
right there at 27%, but he folded.
I mean, King 10 is just not a strong hand to play in a 4-bet pot out
I'll
of
be real with
position.
you, King 10's a hand I hate. It seems like you hit the king, you're behind. You hit the 10, you're behind.
Yeah, Brad was just making a move on duck, and it did not work out.
Only the reason I thought Brad called there is thinking he was putting Mitch on a
Oh, I love seeing this so much, David. Eric tells me you got stacked twice, you rebought, and now you're up $5,000 in like 30 minutes. You went on this little heater, got unstuck immediately, and then just ran it up.
I thought you didn't believe in momentum, but I guess David does, right?
David does.
That's what matters.
That's what matters to David.
Yeah, I wish I had it.
Oh,
He's a good friend of mine, and I like when he runs well.
Aiden with pocket 9s on the button.
Oh, that's why.
Last time he had pocket 9s, he played it about as well as you could by folding when OFC had the same pocket pair. Deuce 5, 10. Duck hits a 10. OFC hits the 5. So John gets a gut shot.
A little surprised Hayden didn't raise his 9s on the button. We're 4-handed. This pot's up to 800-ish. The queen helps no one. Third pair for OFC now. What does he want to try to do? He does check. Hayden checks back his 9s. Duck has most of the equity, and his 10 holds up, but now there's another overpair to the board, or to his pair. I think OFC's already decided that if he doesn't bet at this, he can't win. So he's turning his 5 into a bluff. He was the pre-flop raiser, so he has all the good kings, and very few draws get there. Hayden folds a better hand. John whiffs. Whiffs, but he has 6 high, and he didn't hit his straight, so unless he's thinking about getting real creative, and he's got a read on OFC, he's just thinking things through before he inevitably folds. There it is. And this would be a pretty big bluff catch for Duck with third pair. He's pretty relaxed from the massage, will fold. Shows the bluff to everybody and gets rid of his nit button. All right, OFC. I really love that river bet from OFC. It's a good strategy. Duck. We must have just reset this, but still, though.
It's what, got to be at least 7 hands ago, roughly?
Yeah, no, folks, don't look at these numbers. They don't make.
They reset when they got paid off earlier.
Yeah.
So, and Brad in the bottom again with Duck at the top. Well, that makes three rounds that Brad has to pay Duck off.
Such a small sample size, that will change significantly. But Brad doesn't seem to be having too much fun yet.
I guess he started off decent, and then just, I don't know.
Damn, this is very reasonable from Mitch. His 3-bet is to 100 and gets the call from OFC. We're heads up. I really like OFC's hand. That can make some fun stuff. Ooh. Top pair versus second pair. Mitch doesn't even have to think about whether he's going to C-bet or not. Just goes 100. OFC does not fold second pair to flop bets. He picked up some outs now. He's open, or he's got a gut shot. $275 is reasonable. OFC makes the call. Decided he has implied odds if he can hit his hand, will get paid off. He doesn't hit it though. Comes up second best again. Has to be getting frustrated. Mitch wins another decent pot.
Mitch had been winning small and decent sized pots all night until that hand against the Indian.
And the Indian, David Alexander, a local legend.
Hit that one big hand.
He's sitting on $7,700. A lot of money on the table. I want to see it get moved around. Let's move that money around, boys. Big pots. Poker House at Peaks. Live. On delay. OFC's Thursday night game. My name's Dan Simone. I'm sitting here with Eric. My new friend Eric, who I just met tonight. What's your last name, big dog?
McLeod.
Eric McLeod. Thank you for joining us on the stream.
I'm enjoying it. Got to experience you and Eric both. Anderson both speak broadcasting, and
I like broadcasting. It's fun.
you have a good voice for it.
I got a face for radio, my man.
I didn't say it that way. I said you had a good voice for
That's
broadcasting.
how I say it. So it basically got lent around to Benham, who has ace queen offsuit, who made it 205 and then got 4 callers. Boy, these boys want to play big pots.
Man, they're playing kind of shorthanded for Texas, aren't they?
Not sure what Duck's doing. You just lost a pot, right? No? Anywho, this is a very inconsequential flop. Very dry, very grody. Like, you know, very few draws, and it's 5-handed, so you would think that some pocket pairs would be betting here. Graphics are catching up.
You guys are going to get technical. We have a couple of backdoor straight draws, and that's about it.
That's about it. And give us about 5 to 10 seconds while the graphics catch up, everybody. We know how to make these corrections. I really like this shirt from Benham, the Leonardo da Vinci astronaut diagram. Never seen that before. Indian turns 7. Having a pair here is pretty good right now. OFC's going to stab at it with queen high. Very little.
It seems like he just had the luck tonight. He made a good move, but at the wrong time every time.
Yeah, the pot is so big, and going small here to just probe it out, figure out what you are, clean up some trash. He got called by a pair of 7s, and Benham made the call also because it's so small. He's getting a great price. 2 bricks out. Indian's good. With OFC getting called by 2 people on that turn bet. What is he trying to represent here? My first questions were like, what draws got there? And what am I representing? This is so small. David probably calls with a 7. Yeah, you don't even have to think about it. David.
He just caught fire.
David, buddy. I know you're happy about this. He was telling me last week, or like 4 nights ago, and he ran like ass 4 nights ago too, just how bad he's been running for the last like week and a half. And he knows when this turns around, he's going to strike while the iron's hot. And he's on a very serious mini heater. Picks up another $1,140 to put on his war chest.
When you go to Vegas, you're not going?
Yeah, OFC makes you bluff small there to just like get the draws to fold. There's some ace highs that fold that he gets better to fold, but he made it too small to fold out any of the like, straggly pairs, and that just happens. Like it doesn't have to work that often when you make it so small in the river. You know what I mean?
Yep. The right move for one day might not be the right move for another day.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We are watching a lot of fun pots. I think I just watched Brad make it 300 with 5 deuce of diamonds.
Oh my goodness.
He gets it through and gets rid of his nib button. That's the important part, buddy.
You don't deserve this shit, giving them those cards.
Just talk about winning a tournament, you're just like, all right, I'm going to show you my players.
Yeah, I like to see Brad making moves. Kip!
That's the best card you had in a while, right?
Brother Bear, it's been too long, man. I can't remember the last time I saw you, Kip. Let's come play some cards.
Let's 10-4 offsuit is better. Okay, then yeah, that's
You tune in for your boy Brad, huh? Anywho, Mitch is the $20 straddle on, so these guys want to play big pots. Hand 65.
Pocket pair is
Poker House Peaks, home of the big pots and the hot deck. Haven't seen a real hand yet to raise with, but Duck wants to win that VPIP game, so he will flat a suited 7-3. Miss you too, Kip. Let's play on Sunday again. So we got a limp pot in a $20 straddled hand 5 ways. No one has an 8. No one has a 5. No one has much of anything.
Some backdoor flush draws.
The flop checks through, obviously, and the Indian turns a 10 that he can bet half pot with for sure.
And then Mitch with the open inner. 9 jack.
Yeah, there's one right here, right? I
think I stepped on him.
Mitch doesn't get there. Indian's not scared of that 10 at all, or that king at all, and just bets 200. He's still winning pots, folks. Who has knit buttons left? I'm looking at Benham has a little knit disc there.
J-Rock
Duck has one under his arm.
and
And J-Rock. Yeah. All right, so we're 3 left in the knit game.
I did. He said it and I said it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, interesting. All right.
David, you got a dirty.
Cool little fadeaway for the camera there.
Oh, sorry, Hayden left. He was gonna Andy.
Kip replied to you if you didn't see it.
All right, so. All right, we're getting some limps. There's some spades out here. John and Duck could get in an ugly one.
See, as those spades, if the ace of spades come here, it could be some fireworks.
I just need to double up. That was good.
Nope. The only real hand here right now after this flop is Benham's pair of 9s with the second worst kicker.
I mean, Mitch isn't horrible with middle pair, a couple of backdoor straight draws.
Yeah, you're right. I missed that until he bet. He just let out into 5 people with a 6. He's not feeling that aggressive. He wanted to take it down on the flop, and now Benham bets his 9 with a bunch of possible draws out there. I like this bet by Benham. You probably don't want to check back on 9, a very bad 9, without getting some value from stuff. And that's an interesting river card. Mitch doesn't bluff at that. Benham takes this pot down. The Mavericks have officially lost an ugly game 1 of the finals. Woof.
Only 2 left. Yep. I say you guys get together and pool your money and put it in there.
Kyrie only had 12.
Run a flip.
I'm fine with it.
The Celtics had 6 players, double digits. This could be a long, well, this could be a short series. I hope it's not. Eric, you a big Mavericks fan?
I root for the Mavericks while I'm up here. Having been in the military and moving all over the country, I root for any Texas team.
All right.
My team of choice is the Spurs.
Okay. All right.
We've had a rough year, but rough few years. But after the stretch we had there, I cannot complain.
They got Wemby.
And then we
all
got
going
the
to turn
fourth
around.
this year.
All right. This is fun. David's got queens. He should be raising this all the time. How big's it going to be, though? There's a lot of blacks in his hand. Yeah, this is big. This is over 8x the raise size from J-Rock. Some dead money out there, but
I was disappointed because I was more of a Stars fan.
yeah, I know. That was a rough series for them in the Western Conference Finals.
I was sitting there spending that money saying like, okay, when it gets here.
Hey, David picks up another pot, and
No, I'm saying now you're right. It's like nobody's fault. No, it's not.
I don't know what else to say. OFC's having an incredibly bad night. Haven't seen this ever. It's his game. He puts the lineup together, and sometimes he just runs into it real hard. But this is the first time I've seen it this bad. Not trying to rub it in or anything, but I'm trying to convey to the audience that this is unusual. He's running really badly.
Do you know why he's the best tipper though? He can't fucking count.
count.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's giving. He's just throwing
68.
chips.
He's colorblind.
Yeah,
He's like red, green, black. He's a
These are $1 chips.
Benham's got the
Just, you know,
sharp
I get-
pointy ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Brad folds and looks at his watch. OFC when he's stuck is not going to do too much folding pre-flop.
Once they're like,
You can't get unstuck if you fold pre-flop.
they're gone.
Oh, and he flops 2 pair against Benham's aces. Yuck.
This could really get him paid here.
They're purple and black.
It's a really bad flop for Benham. I mean, it's not really bad, but just like better for his callers, obviously. They have the set advantages,
Oh, ouch.
the straight advantages.
Yeah.
OFC obviously flopped 2 pair. Mitch calls him with a gut shot to a 5. Benham can't fold aces yet, so we're going to a turn. This pot is $600. Oh boy.
OFC with a full house and Benham got a fill.
OFC didn't need to get stronger, you know?
Yeah.
They already had a pretty good advantage in this hand, but he strengthens up. And can Benham fold aces now? He will not. He needs a clean river.
Whew.
If OFC was semi-bluffing like a 5-4, like a pair plus straight draw, or a 6, OFC rips it in. He hyper-polarizes. This is an overbet to the pot, and aces are put in a spot. Whoo, Benham! Without too much deliberation, Benham puts in the call with aces, sees a full house, and OFC's image is getting paid off for a full-ass double-up. Yeah. This is what happens sometimes when you call a raise with 6-4 offsuit. He kind of did this to me the other night with 7 deuce, right? Who will call with a very shitty starting hand and make a monster.
And you can get by with that if you have the discipline to get off one. Like if you just hit bottom pair or something, you have the discipline to let that go. You can get by with playing some stuff.
I understand. I won some and I lost some and I won it back.
OFC is a very good lag and loose aggressive player. Your loose pre-flop. David Alexander does the same thing. He will call some big pre-flop raises with incredibly weak hands, hits monsters, and gets paid off. Way to go, OFC. You really need that one, buddy. Now you're only stuck 7.8 grand.
I made 6 moves in total. Everybody had it smashed on the floor. Crazy. Like, I don't know how.
You didn't just have a 6.
Yeah, he had something with it.
I could do that with 7-5 too, right? Easily I could do that with 7-5.
Draw.
No, I think it's got 36.
Benham with top pair, top kicker. They rock with no pair.
Oh, Benham checked his ace jack. Interesting.
Ooh, and now Doug's got a flush draw and an open in there.
Call that a big ass combo draw. I like Duck sizing here.
When my grandmother used to walk to school across that field.
But he gets raised by the ace jack of Benham.
With 1 foot.
Huh?
Only on one leg.
Well, no, when it snowed one day.
Snow, yeah.
Oh, Benham, that's good stuff, buddy.
Yeah, it snowed all the
His
time.
ace jack is pretty under repped as he checked the flop. And there are a ton of draws for Benham to get called by when he raises here. Duck has one of the better ones. A ton of equity at 30%. Duck's absolutely getting the right price to call.
Books were written on papyrus, but shit, we had
He's getting the direct odds to make this call profitably. It's just 300 more. The pot is now 1285. Can Duck hit one of his 9 outs?
There wasn't much history to teach, though.
Come on, buddy.
no, we were living.
When did they start teaching? At what year did they start teaching history? Okay, so 4 years ago.
It was after I graduated.
He got there. Let's go, Duck.
I went.
He checks river. Benham snap checks back, and Duck very definitively says, "I win."
I won. He checks it back.
He
I
checks,
win.
you're winning.
Is that how it works? Because I've checked and had to check back plenty, and I lose a lot.
In that situation, I think.
Brad.
All right, Brad.
Comment straight.
So someone just lost the VPIP game. I think it was J-Rock.
We can do one more. Let's do it.
Who did you pay?
Pass them out again.
And so we put some money on that button.
It
We got
is
15 minutes.
10:09. I think it's probably.
I gotta wake up.
I think it's probably too late.
I got.
minutes? Yeah, the way you got to
Ooh,
level. What a throw, Mitch.
That was a knit game, right?
I gotta go whenever this is over. Sorry, guys. I gotta wake up.
Sounds like it's too late.
I'm trying to listen to what they're saying. Can we finish a knit game in 30 minutes?
I don't want to do it, but if we need.
All right, Doc doesn't want to do it because he has to get up early.
I got it. Now they're
Completely understandable.
Wait, don't take his.
If you don't think you can stay late enough to finish the knit game, you shouldn't start it.
Do I have to pay the 200 when I leave?
Absolutely, yes. No. You have the lowest VPIP by far at the table. I mean, somebody who doesn't
In fairness, we have guys.
You're leaving early or 11?
No, I'm gonna leave when the stream ends.
Yeah, so that's when we'll
As
settle
long as-
everything.
Yeah,
If the
as
stream-
long as the
Everybody
stream
will
is, I'm not leaving earlier.
Let's do this.
We'll just share.
When
Yeah,
the
sure.
stream's over,
I'm fine with
if they're still out, if the stream's over,
Yeah, 11 o'clock. We'll cut it
Yeah,
down.
I'm listening to the table talk also. They're deciding whether to keep
Who's it on?
this VPIP game or the knit game live
I'm never good for it.
because it might go longer than 30 minutes. Let's hope it doesn't.
that's unpaid.
Duck would love to get rid of his button immediately. He's got the best hand. Ace Queen of Diamonds goes to 210 from the third blind.
No. Oh.
And OFC still not folding preflop. He refuses to. Graphics are catching up, but Hayden probably did not call this.
Oh, are you?
He
You're
didn't.
finally gonna deal?
So we're heads up. Duck against OFC. OFC outflops Duck, and this is yucky too.
When he was 5 minutes before, he goes, "I'll be there in 5 minutes."
Duck c-bet this jack high disconnected rainbow flop texture. And unfortunately for Duck, OFC has a decent jack.
Several people I know that's their favorite hand, Jack 9.
Hell yeah, Duck gets bailed out. I mean, they're both my friends, but I don't like to see Duck get tilted. Doesn't have to think about this long before he puts in the turn bet for 275. And OFC snap folds a jack. Of course he does. What an awful turn for OFC. And Duck had it, obviously. Gets rid of his knit button. Now has nothing to worry about. He can leave whenever he wants to. Hey. There goes Miguel. Here comes Joel. We're doing a dealer change bomb pot.
The button stays there. Yeah, the button stays there. 3 outs.
Picked up some viewers. We might as well look at a chart or two, huh? We're now 30 minutes into this restarting. Duck. That must be over 90. It's insane. I know how Brad's under 20. That's happened before.
But that's a little low for Brad, even.
He is card dead. I mean, let's be realistic. He's not going to get completely go crazy with just trashy hands to try to get his VPIP up. He rather stomach the $100, and I don't blame him. I'd probably take the same strategy. Actually, I'd probably play Duck strategy, just doing a ton of limping.
Yeah.
Hell yes. We're doing this thing. The beat is correct. Oh, Faye! Can you open that door for a second? Hey, we got some jacks and some queens on both of these flop. J-Rock's got trip aces in an Omaha hand. That's never good. Duck's got top 2 pair on both boards. He checks it. There are a bunch of decent spade draws. John has the best of them.
And Benham's opening it on both.
So the flop checks through. We're about to figure out really quickly who's going to start betting here. Duck does not. An OFC
4 and
posture.
queens on both. 2 pair on both boards.
David's got some straight stuff and some flush stuff, but very small spades. John made the call. He's got second nut spade draws on both boards. And it's back to Brad. He's got to decide whether his straight draws and his weak flush draw are ever good here. Decides they're not. That's a good fold, buddy. That's how you play bomb pots. David might get himself in trouble if he hits any flushes here. Oh, David hits the wheel on the bottom, so he's getting half of this. Duck with his top 2 pair on the top board is best on that board. But seriously, though, pretty much
Queen jack, queen jack.
Queen Jack, Queen Jack's getting half. David's got the wheel on the bottom, so he is good there. And Duck and David are going to chop up $675. Thank you, Fat.
Hold it 7-6.
And that's how the bomb pots go, folks. It's usually chops. Pretty surprised David got half of that, honestly. He was opening on the bottom and had bad spades. So he gets bailed out a little bit, gets $185 for his trouble. So still running well.
That would have got brutal though if they came on both boards.
I had the other.
Would have been awesome for John.
Oh yeah, but brutal for David. Because even a small flush there, if you got it on both boards, it's hard to see someone else having it.
Dude, if spades get there on both boards and anyone else bets, and you've got 5 high spades on both boards, snap fold.
Some places do the 2-card bomb pot, and I've hit the flush on both boards with the 2-card bomb pot with 4 high flush.
Oh, I remember old Poker House Dallas on Regal Road before it shut down. Every dealer change, they did a Hold'em bomb pot. And it is, I still to this day think it's the worst thing that's ever happened to poker. I never played it one time. It's awful. It's a terrible game. And so it just gave me a little time to go smoke a schmag.
I'll be real with you, I'm not really a Hold'em fan.
Oh, you play mostly Omaha?
I'm old school. I like stud variants.
Okay.
Hard to find, but
Did you ever play in that fun mixed game, like a Wednesday mixed game night at Poker House Dallas?
no, I never went to the original Poker House in Dallas because I was nervous to go to card rooms at first in Dallas.
Oh,
When I
okay.
first moved here, and then by the time I started going to one, it was already the writing was on the wall how I was just shutting down, so it was not the one I was going to go to.
All right.
But I'm glad I found the card rooms in Dallas. Hopefully, the city will eventually let them look at redoing things and that way everybody like.
Oh, it's going to be fine. Mitch overbets the pot here, 600 into 400 with his pair of 9s. For protection, to get rid of his knit button, to take down $400. You're getting called by better. You're only getting called by better, basically. But
to answer your question, PLO,
good to be aggressive.
PLO is something I'm moving toward.
Be aggressive. Oh, yeah. Same here.
But I prefer high.
I'm trying to learn it.
I prefer high low.
I also like Congress. We used to run a fun round of each game here in the afternoons. One round of 5-card PLO bomb pot, 1 round of Congress. That got fun.
Sad thing is,
That got expensive for me.
I'm not a huge fan of Congress.
4-card high-low?
Yeah,
Huh.
the original.
Okay.
How come?
Hand 73. We got about 25 minutes left, I think, unless the knit game goes long.
But there's nowhere to find that stuff around here. So hold on, let I play. I don't know if it's just because I enjoy poker that much or I'm not much of a degenerate. I haven't decided yet.
Oh, dude, don't worry your little head about it. We're all degenerates.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. Doesn't matter which one it is.
Hey, Eric. You're Eric 5. Eric Kusin is one of the 7 Erics around this place. Tell your dealer to stop turning over the deck. 702 FMP. Give me a little more specifics. I haven't noticed that, but we love constructive criticism here. And you point out what you're talking about so I can see it. I'll let somebody know. I'm just not sure what you're talking about right now. Turning over the deck. Oh, OFC turned his straight and wins $300. Sorry, we got distracted here. Anyway, that was a really nice turn for OFC, who's still stuck a lot.
You like it when a plan comes together like that?
Oh, who's power ranking Eric Houston?
Huh?
At least 3. At least 3.
Came together out of 6 fucking people.
All right, OFC was stuck 10.5.
Making a little comeback.
Yeah, that's good.
Little less stuck. That's good.
I wish I didn't hit that fucking.
Man, David, what a roaring comeback, buddy. When he reaches for chips or cards, his left, he turns the deck face down. Left, he turns okay, I'll look for it, buddy.
She just pushed one in.
Do I know you personally? 702 FMP?
You can make hair.
Easy.
If not, no worries. When he reaches for chips or cards to his left, okay, to his left, comma, he turns the deck face down.
I had the nuts. I pocket 8. I don't know what you guys.
I mean, 8 would have won. 8 wins on him.
Face down, so like someone might be able to see a card.
No, Mitch doesn't hit an 8. He hits 7, 6, 5.
Isn't face down good? All right, we're gonna. He's a dealer at Poker House Austin. All right, nice to meet you, buddy. Hopefully one day we get down to play there. And I'm also sure Eric Anderson is looking at this chat, so this is the type of stuff we want to hear. Look at all that money on the button. This is the best hand Brad's seen in a while. Does he want to put a squeeze on?
You don't know what
Here it comes, folks. Anaconda squeeze. Not a bad candidate, King 10 suited. It's not really big enough to get some of these dudes off some big hands, and J-Rock just rips it in. Good God. 1225. That is not what Brad wanted to see, but he's kind of pot committed now.
Both of these guys are down for the night, so this pot might bring them.
Yeah, no, I mean, Brad has more equity than he probably thinks he has. Ooh. J-Rock hits an ace. Brad needs to get lucky. 2 10s in the deck. Doesn't hit it. They're going twice. All right, all right. Brad hits a 10. Open-ended, or gut shot for J-Rock. Needs to hit a jack. He's got 10 outs. That's not one. Chop, chop, boys. But the most important part of that hand that just chopped, the player that wins the top board
Gets rid of their knit button.
gets rid of their knit button. J-Rock gets rid of his.
Oh, David still got his.
Yeah, so we're looking at the table.
Benham.
Benham, Brad, David Alexander,
Hayden, and John.
So 5 players left. We are going to play and run this stream until that Nick game's over. And I think we might see some big hands to close this night out.
Okay, Eric understood what he was talking about.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, 702 FMP. We appreciate
I
that.
think he just does that with it a little bit, but
You joke about what you know.
potentially.
Oh, I've never learned how to deal, so I do not know.
I'm trying to work on learning it.
Mitch is half racked up right now.
Oh, he's playing out of the rack. Non-superstitious thing.
Did John just call with ace queen again, or is that a raise? It should be a raise. All right, he goes to 100. He 10x's this. Benham has the knit button. He calls with ace. And in between them, Duck called with 9-7 of diamonds. Hell yes. We're 5 hands into a flop for 525. A single suited board of spades. OFC has the king of spades. Mitch's spade is inconsequential. Duck has nothing. Benham has 8. Flop checks through. OFC turns the king, and now he's feeling pretty decent. He's got a big lead with 67% equity.
John's got a good shot.
The turn checks through. OFC goes small into 525, just 150. He gets called by Mitch's 6 of spades. Mitch, that is loose. I don't think OFC's betting anything less than a better flush into 5 other people, Mitch. That's just my feeling.
Yeah, he's got to be better than the 6 high there.
See you in the morning.
I understand.
I don't think if it's want to get that, you might not make it.
Okay, so I guess
Yeah.
we've
How much of that?
hit our allotted time of the stream for the players, which is 4 hours. I don't want to peel back the curtain too much, but it looks like Mitch is calling, or I mean, it's late. It's late for some of these guys. Here's hand 76, and Hayden just limps in with ace jack of diamonds. This is interesting. Let's keep an eye on the Hayden here. OFC has a really pretty 10-9 of hearts hand. Hayden is about to back raise. The old limp re-raise. He basically has to. He wants max fold equity. He has a knit button. He's got a really nice hand. If he gets 4-bet, he can just call. OFC will oblige him for 275. And the Indian's gone. So we're heads up to a flop here. Pot's got 670 in it. And this is close to a little flip of the coin. Okay. Okay, that's kind of an action flop, right, Eric?
For this, yeah, I guess for heads up. Only thing make it a little more action is if it was like. The Queen of Hearts or something could have made it interesting.
If I try to matrix myself into OFC's brain, what is he putting Hayden on as the limp razor pre-flop? He picks up outs with his gut shot to an 8. Hayden checks back his ace jack, protecting his check back range. OFC still just coming up second best in big pots like this. I'm not sure why he would try to go for thin value with a 10. He doesn't. Hayden can. He doesn't. Hayden stays safe. And Hayden wins almost $600 with that ace jack of diamonds. gets rid of his knit button.
Turn was not bad.
It was all pretty standard play from everybody. I like it. I'm getting pretty excited to play against some of these dudes after the stream's over. The games after the streams are always really awesome. Luckily for me. Because, Eric, honestly, I would love to play in these lineups.
Why don't you want me?
Maybe.
I'll be real. That's a little more than what I'm willing to put into a game on a one by
I
end.
didn't like that king suited. Could be king queen suited. You know, so I'm like, that's the worst one.
Kind of most comfortable on the microphone, if that makes any sense.
What about the Wednesday night game?
Oh, yeah. No, I can play that for sure.
No, I mean,
Every
I'm
time
not trying to come out next week and play on it. I don't know.
Oh, you should, buddy. I watched some of last night. What are we calling it? The rec stakes?
Yep.
That's a decent way to call low stakes. Rec stakes is a nice little euphemism.
At least it ain't the old school limit hold'em.
Mm-hmm. We don't do that in this city.
Pissing on you, because if I call 3.
All right, I was kind of not paying attention, but
It's just one of those days. I had to use it.
Hayden pre-flop takes down 235.
For 1 hour of time. If you don't use it.
All right, that's that hand. Next hand. Hand 77. Thanks everybody for staying tuned. We got about 10 minutes left, I think. What's most likely is that we're going to stream until the knit game's over, and I'm looking at 4 knit buttons left. Benham, Brad, David Alexander, the Indian, John Harris. And that's the 4. Come on, Brad. Be aggressive. He is. He goes to 75. And at this point in the night, when OFC's stuck, you just have to, like, fully understand that he's not folding pre-flop. Mitch, buddy. The 7 deuce game is not on, my man. Just way out of line. He doesn't have a knit button. He's just doing it for the yucks.
Jealous?
Just wants to pull one on somebody. Oh, see, I don't know about this, bud.
Yeah, we live in
Is this what I think it is? Mitch has a gut shot to a 4, right?
Yes, he does.
Ooh, Brad as the original pre-flop raiser and flatted a 3-bet with a player behind him. He's going to stab at this really low, ugly rainbow flop with ace-jack. He's got a knit button. OFC has a 5. This is risky, my boy. He's looking oh so serious. OFC knows that earlier when he makes pre-flop calls, he just flats 3-bets with stuff like this. It gets him in trouble, so he folds his 5. And Mitch with his gut shot, he was the pre-flop 3-better. Is he about to check raise? Mitch, are you a wild man? Holy hell. Oh, God.
Ooh.
Oh, Brad, I'm sorry, bud. I just did the same thing, Brad. I just threw my head in my hand. That should have worked. Oh, Mitch. Slams it down. Oh, with mischievous authority.
It's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, Mitch seemingly doesn't care anymore. I'm with Duck on this. I'm just here to make the stream good.
I think Mitch said that I do what I want stage.
Yes, that is exactly what it is. I do what I want. Kim loves it. Kim Fortini loves it. And here's this. Brad now stuck 26.55 after that. Yeesh. Hadn't had too many hands to play.
You know who he's gonna blame this on, right?
One of the best hands.
You for asking.
Everybody.
That's what we're talking about.
Everybody won that last one. Everybody won that.
Yeah, he hit the worst.
What you don't know is you just.
Hey, this could get fun.
Ooh.
Big $300.
Benham was the initial raise with ace queen offsuit as the first to act under the gun +1, right? Brad early versus early, 3-bet sevens. Hayden has the ace king in the small blind. He goes to 800. Benham folds his ace queen immediately, and now it's back to Brad, who's got a decision for like basically his whole stack. Brad's really good at spots like this, pre-flop. He knows exactly what's going on. He's taking Hayden's cold 4-bet very seriously from the small blind. And you have to decide about Hayden's range. Am I flipping or am I crushed? If we combine all of those pieces of information, how much equity do your sevens have against the entire range that 4-bets here?
Yeah.
And that is exactly what Brad is thinking through now.
I think Hayden's range there is aces, kings, or ace king for a 4-bet, maybe queens.
Hayden has the full complement of moves
Oh, I agree he does. I'm just
from the small blind.
I think at this time.
No, I'm agreeing with you. And there's also this little of incentive because he's in the small blind for all that money on the button.
Yeah.
You call.
Brad being this stuck. Yeah, I understand his body language. It's like, this is a jam or fold spot. And how often am I like flipping? Do I want to flip for my whole stack? This is a really good bet by Hayden. It's kind of the standard shit with ace king from the small blind, but he picks up all that dead money, and that's a nice pot for Hayden. And any human being alive would start to get frustrated if you're sitting in Brad's seat currently. I mean, Brad's sitting in his seat currently now, but if you can imagine that if anyone
said Brad must have been brother, I think, on the other side of OFC.
Oh no, that's not a like ideal table draw. I assume they draw for seats.
Yeah. Can't make it true.
Oh, and Mitch is gone. Mitch said I had a hard stop at 11, and I'm gone.
I do believe it by the beginning, though, he said it was a hard stop. Or right, he was pretty much like, hey, had it.
No, I mean, totally understandable. It's Thursday night.
You have a. Does he have a?
If y'all didn't hear, Duck asked if Benham had a knit button or not. When he got the answer, he snap called. It's a decent tell. Duck now turns 2 pair. Gut shot for Benham. Benham's going to go for it. Double barrel, almost pot. So many draws out there. Duck might check raise here, and looks like he will. Oh, yeah. Go to 600. Benham can't call. Nice pot, Duck. All right, let's look at this as we're coming up on almost 4 hours of stream time. I don't know how Duck has kept this up all night.
Brad?
The VPIP metric starts over every single hour, and Duck has been over 90% multiple hours.
All three of him.
Just flashed the.
Was he over 90 the first one? He was at least 88 or higher. No, he was at least 88 or higher the first one. I can't remember if it was at the end he was 92 or 88.
Still shocking. He's like 23 percentage points over the second best VPIPper. I don't know if best is the right word, but John being at 24% is a little surprising. And in the last hour of the stream, the VPIP game loser pays the player at the bottom of that table will pay the player at the top of that table $200 in the last hour of the stream. Double the penalty in hour 4. There's so many fun little wrinkles in OFC's game, but we're four-handed here in hand 81. Maybe flops an ace.
Do exactly that every day. That's what he's thinking. You're playing so good. You should definitely call it that. You're awesome. You could be crushed right now.
Oh, I did not mean to do that.
Oh, now I am. There goes all my hours.
Let's see a jack. Let's put a jack out there.
Check one, check three.
Decent sized pot, but pretty passive there at the end. David picks up another pot and gets rid of his net button in a seemingly painless fashion. Venom's going to the wad.
Well, the first time I did that, I don't understand the part. The first time Hayden and I played together on the street, I played like 3 hands. Yeah, look at man. And it wasn't because I
We've had some serious money moving around.
It was.
I like the spread. No one's even, or up or down a little bit. It's significant money either direction, right?
Yeah, more than $1,000 pretty much either way, at a minimum.
This is a very strong hand for OFC, who will open under the gun and get called by David's Queen 10 offsuit immediately. Hayden's never calling. John should fold. J-Rock should fold. Duck's also folding trash. Venom calls his 9-4 of clubs because he has a nit button. What was that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're 3-handed as a flop. Pot's $240. Hand 82. This misses everybody. I mean, gut shot for David can hit a 9, and it checks the
Never
in.
seen that bid for money counter.
What is that?
Dude, let me see that son of a bitch.
Marco money.
Where did you find that at?
$68 on Amazon.
Fuck, I'm gonna buy one.
David. Jack.
John brought a portable money counter?
That's cool as fuck. Does it check for
So I bought
Front door hearts get there, so this is checking through again.
But it's so big, it's not worth it. This does have like a UV light here that you can use if you want.
Was there a boxed card that I just saw? Venom stabs at this because he has the nit button, but it's not going to work because David's got the queen high flush.
No.
Man, David's getting hot at the right time again.
yeah,
Taking down pots.
Since I've got one in my office.
Why does John have a portable money counter? I mean, I know why, but
Dude,
how often is it necessary? It's not that hard to count a wad of bills with your hands.
He also look cool.
No.
What is it called? Is it like mini?
Or he probably got a good
Maybe he just loves gadgets.
Probably got a really good deal on the gadget deal. That was kind of cool.
I need it all the time. Because there's a lot of times we're closing deals and we're not in our office.
Oh, yeah. I did pick up a gut shot coming into love.
No.
Biggest question for me now at hand 83 is who has nit buttons left. Harris does.
And she made me buy it from her. And
Hello,
so she made me
John
buy it from her.
and
$20
Venom.
deal.
Are we down to? We're down to 3.
Fucking
Okay.
5 different banks to get cash.
Venom's gonna fight his hardest to get rid of his for sure.
She was like, well, cash.
That's why he's 3-betting to 325 with ace deuce offsuit.
You don't have that button, right?
No, sir.
Brad always collects all of the data and knows the dynamics at play, but King Jack offsuit still a little too weak to call $320. This is one of David's favorite hands. Any sort of middle cards suited bluffs, gappers.
I think he won 2 of his all in earlier with 8.
There can be disguise. Will make the call in position. Ducks out. Benham could not be happier about this flop. Oh, David. David has a gut shot to a 7 in backdoor clubs, so he floats. Not the best turn for David, obviously. Benham feels he still has the best hand, so he goes 400. Gets it done. Gets rid of his knit button. Where you go, Benham? Way to go, bud. Oh, and he wins that money on top of the button because he was in the small blind that we can't keep track of.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
The random floating around money that we don't know.
I want to see a
It's in
big
the
bear
ether.
and then
It's sitting out there somewhere. David up 6. OFC down 8.5. This is usually what these charts look like after Thursday night. A lot of green, a lot of red.
I bought like a $400.
Yeah.
Because they
Hey, Eric, Kimberly says, nice job on the commentary, guys. Thank you, Kim.
Like I said, it's easy when you're getting carried.
Kim Fortini.
I mean, Eric Anderson, Dan, they've been carrying me tonight, so made my job easy.
Come on, Brad.
I'd lie and say I just got to sit here and look pretty, but I don't look very pretty.
You got a badass beard, dude. Don't sell that short. All right, let's catch up on this action in hand 84. This limped around to OFC in the big blind with King 10 of hearts, so we made it 80. Yes, we're four-handed.
Okay, come on, Brad. You got to get it go.
Brad has to hit a flop at some point, right? He cannot.
Well,
I've never won, and I always play.
he hit it more than anyone else so far.
His 8 is best. Whatever happens, Brad is going to be calling this bet. OFC never checks a queen on this flop. Benham even makes the call with 4s. He thinks his pair is best. And there you go, Brad. Let's get that 8. Hold that. Oh, no, Brad. Not like this. Oh, buddy.
Brad getting done so dirty tonight, bro.
This is getting ugly. Benham rivers the full house with his set of. Oh, look at this look from Brad. He's like, are you effing kidding me?
Like, David, before you sit down, said the deck was going to start hitting him.
Yeah, it did.
It did. The deck is just running over Brad tonight, making it brutal.
Benham goes big, 975. Yeah. Doesn't show his set of 4s that he rivered. He 2-outed Brad.
So you already got rid of the net button, huh?
Yeah.
Like the hand before, right?
He just didn't believe OFC and called with his pair and got just absolutely gifted a boat on the river. 2-outed. Benham, you dirty dog. You dastardly dog.
You got a pair?
I don't like those games. I didn't like it either. It took me a long time to figure out what
I
actually
wasn't
wanted.
Yeah, my heart's starting to hurt for Brad.
How easy is it for me to be beat? If he's got a 9 and a 7 of spades or a 10 of spades or jack of spades, yeah.
Who is stuck a little over 3K now.
I mean,
We've gotten to 85 hands. We're a little over 4 hours. We're going to run this stream until the net game's over for sure.
Brad shows up to do commentary, and then the seat opened up, and he wanted to play.
It's not my fault.
No, I'm just saying. You didn't ask me.
No, what an incredible game to play in, though. It's like
Oh,
the opportunity is valuable.
like this would be a game you'd learn a lot from playing in.
Oh no, Brad plays this big plenty.
Yeah, I know.
He's fine. Yeah,
Brad-
no one's really shot taking tonight.
Brad is one of the few players that I would say is in Dallas is a really high quality caliber, both cash and tournament.
Yes, he is good at tournaments too. David's still making the best hand, even though his pot's small.
I mean, people don't realize the game changes and it's hard to go back and forth. Brad can do that. I respect it when people can. But most of the stable probably can, but I'm just saying.
Brad's like, it's David. It's $120. How often does he have an ace? Does he ever bet a worse king? What a fold. Good fold, Brad. He always has the ace, OFC, huh?
A6, A7, A6. You got it.
Today I think he hit it 19.
David does show his trip aces and
Every time I raised this call, ace, right?
gives Brad a little relief.
Top pair.
All right, let's check. Who's got knit buttons left? Definitely Brad, definitely John Harris. The computer doesn't know. That's no big deal. We can use our eyes.
I think that's the only two.
I think we're down to two. I think it's John Harris and Brad.
Call. It's fine. Call. You don't know your side. What?
Oh, they're just going to blind call for Doug, who actually has a hand they could have raised with.
And then I lose.
Brad is not going to effectively win the knit game if he keeps folding.
I'm not folding.
Well, I do believe he already knew John had at least folded, so he wasn't in danger of losing it on this hand either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that changes everything. Middle card, wet board, no one connects. Someone said once that this is a who wants it pot. Who will stab first?
I'd love to see an 8 come, just see how many of them bet it and try to raise it.
They all have nines. All right, so graphics got past me a little bit, but David bet his turn, and now he's bluffing river with queen high. Doug folds a better hand. Benham has the same exact better hand with ace high. He's getting a little smirky. David's going to get a bluff through for cheap for 125. Doesn't show it. David in the zone. He's in a flow state.
I mean, with the way the deck's hitting him, would you call that though?
He's won most of the pots in the last like 2 hours since I've been here.
If you were either one of them, would you call that with the way the deck's been hitting him?
I mean, it's David. I have a lot of hand history with the Indian, who's now up almost $6,500 in a 5-5-10 game. He's going to be pleased as punch about it when this inevitably ends. Give it about 10 minutes. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. That's my boy. I like it, David. It limps around to you on the button, and you got a suited connector. Make it 50. That is on the smaller side. He's just trying to build a pot.
Yeah, we can run it.
David wasn't trying to get anyone to fold, and he didn't. Let's just goose that pot up a little bit. He whiffs. Duck's got top pair, decent kicker. Ooh! OFC turns 2 pair with the computer. Beep, beep, bop, boop.
Indian with the open ender.
That is a really juicy turn. OFC races immediately. David doesn't even think about calling with his open ender. Oh, duck folds face up. Good fold, duck. Are you trying to tilt OFC? I hope this that game ends soon because
Well,
I got PP in my pants.
John has all kinds of incentive here. Small blind, a little bit of money on the button. Not a lot, but a little bit.
A little bit of money in a page.
And he's got the knit button.
All right. I wonder when we're going to call it a night on the VIP game, the VPIP game for hour 4. There's very little chance that John Harris can make up the ground to not lose the VPIP game. Beautiful hand for OFC. A little less of a nice hand for John. This is fun. OFC's got a very big equity advantage. 65-35 chop split here. They both flop an ace. John, no.
John's got the knit button still.
I'm scared. John's not overplaying an ace here. OFC checks back. That check back is going to get OFC paid when he net. Oh, no. He checks river, too. Damn, OFC. Okay. We're winding things down. This is Poker House Peaks. Thursday night, OFC's game, 5-5-10 live stream on delay.
No, I mean, it's tough for him to call 110 and hit that.
All right, Brad's got a king 10. So does OFC.
Yeah,
So Brad, one of the last two with a knit button, opens under the gun with king 10 offsuit. He's going to get a ton of calls for $30.
yeah, I 100% put him on an ace, no doubt.
Maybe that's an exaggeration. He gets 4 calls. He's got the same hand as OFC. Ducks out in front with his ace high. Pair of 9s for the Indian. That's good now. Who wants to be aggressive? Brad does. That's 1/3 pot into 4 opponents. OFC has the same gut shot straight draw. It looks like he is going to raise. OFC. Very aggressive. Brad is tired of being pushed around. They have the same exact hand. OFC got a double barrel when this 8 hits. He will. It's going to be big, too. And now Brad in a spot. You basically can't just call here hoping to hit one of 4 outs. You just don't he doesn't know that OFC has the same exact hand, right? And he can't call. It's either a jam to bluff against the flop raiser and turn better, and you have way less fold equity against OFC that you do against other players.
100 each. So 100 each, and we can go to the
So Brad makes the fold, even though he had the same hand, it's the right fold, and OFC just makes the nice, aggressive play in position and takes down
Eric.
$300. Duck's asking for the VPIP numbers. Let's check
You
this
guys are
out.
putting the 100? Okay.
Two.
And he went down to 85, but he's still got to be proud of that. It actually stinks by me. Like, I don't know how his VPIP's that high.
71, 68, 68. No,
Mitch is gone.
68, yeah. 37, 28, 40, 85. So 85 and John 28.
That's why I checked that 810. What do you mean?
John loses the VPIP game, it would seem,
110, they called flop, and I'm like,
and
fuck
he's
that.
going to pay Duck
I'm
$200.
saying, didn't you do it already? I want to make sure you
He's
guys.
joking.
I want to make sure you got his refund.
He said he was gonna pay me before.
That's why I checked that.
We got a dealer change and another PLO bomb pot. When is this stream going to end, folks? I don't know either. Stick around. Plenty of big pots available left.
It's a really, really thin value.
Like Dan's looked down and gone. How did he lose $1,000?
He can have ace-5 many times over there. That's what
I mean,
No, I
it's
should
a
have.
fun way to play. Like, I don't want to sit here and like, if I lose, I lose. Who cares?
Yeah. I want to have. Yeah.
Here we go. Is this going to get crazy?
We got 2 flops.
you ship it.
We've gotten to 90 hands tonight. That's badass. Queens and Jacks for OFC. He's got a top set on both boards. That's nice for now.
Brad has a decent hand on the bottom board.
We'll see what happens. Second nut flush draw for OFC on the top board.
2 pair on the top and a flush draw on the bottom.
All right, it's safe to say that this could be a big one. J-Rock rips in the rest of his stack for 550.
Nut flush draw on the bottom and a straight draw on top. What pair? On each.
Later, Duck. Good playing, brother.
See you, buddy. Take care.
See if I'm high now.
Hey, Brad. Glad to play with you again.
Aiden doesn't say it, right?
I know. I have to go at
Brad 2 pair and a
75. Yeah.
flush draw. 2 pair on top, flush draw on the bottom, and a pair.
So it's just 7:30 behind. Brad deciding if he wants to play for his whole stack in a double board PLO bot bot. I did not hear what he just said. But Benham's gone too. So this might be the last hand of the night if people are just leaving. People that did not lose the net game don't care who
I'll
loses,
text you during the day.
especially when it's not a splash pot, right?
No.
Yeah, but
So-
I'd rather not let you down. You know what I'm saying? But that way I'll just show up and if the spot ends up, it's cool.
I mean, first question for Brad is, are my hearts ever good? If I make my heart draw, is it good?
It's like I've been trying to make that Friday game.
How far behind? About 2 pair.
Are my bottom two pair on the top board? How often does that hold up? He knows he's in a very precarious spot. He probably will be folding here.
Well, you said
If he
earlier,
calls,
you
it's
don't-
very tilty, but Brad does not get tilty. Good fold, buddy.
Most people would try to put it in there trying to chase money to get back to even or close to even.
Your draws and your made hands with 5-3 2 pair just aren't very good. Oh, OFC repots it into David? Why?
To the top set.
Oh, that's such a big hand.
Oh no, you want to bring David. You want to bring David along.
Good luck, buddy.
You don't want to force David out of this.
Hearts, straight draw, 10. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff.
I was worried that somebody had to.
Got straight draw here and hearts over there.
Yeah.
OFC in really good shape. Has 75% equity.
Got 2 pair.
Yeah, so far so good.
4, 3, 6. Lose that one. I need a heart.
OFC might scoop this here. He does. A scoop a dupe for OFC.
Wow.
J-Rock's calling it a night.
So bad.
OFC gets a little less unstuck. Just won almost $1,000 in that bomb pot. And most of the table's gone. So, I mean, I don't even know if they're finishing the... Are they not finishing the knit game? John's left. Hey, sorry for the awkward dismount, folks, but we're done. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to the players and everybody that puts this together. Graphics did great. Eric, great to have you on the microphone.
Don't forget to start on the 25th, y'all.
Ton of fun shit happening here at Poker House Peaks. Free rolls,
High hands.
spin the wheel,
Flush
flush frenzy. Bunch of promos. We're good at promos now. Come play with us. Fun games. I'm just gonna pull the plug.
Oh, yeah.
Pull the plug.